Okay, so I hope the recording is got started. So wonderful. I have quite a good internet speed. The ping rate is quite low. That's absolutely fine. But uh, if you feel if there is any disconnection, kindly let me know so that I can actually help you on the same. Okay. So hi, hello everyone. My name is Sanmesh KS. I am a owner of an analytical firm here based off in Karnataka. And I am also a corporate trainer for various companies. I have trained, Deloitte India, Axis Bank. I have trained a company called as Poly, okay, and various companies with 360DigiTM. And my relationship with 360DigiTMG is nearly something like nearly a year. Okay, so I specialize in Power BI and analytical dashboarding. And here what we will be doing is we will be trying to understand analytics from bottom. Okay, so how a dashboard is going to be built, how the dashboard is going to be published, and what are the various things that we have to take care of it. Okay, and this is a session which is for beginners to advanced, which basically means if you don't have any prior knowledge on Power BI, that's absolutely fine. We will be starting everything from the scratch. Okay, so this is about the program, and adding to that, the program consists of something like 30 hours of training, and it contains everything related to introduction to Power BI, installation, connecting to the SQL, connecting to the database, adding to that data preparation using Power BI, using advanced DAX to calculate things in Power BI, and doing wonderful visualizations. Last but not the least, publishing, dashboarding, row level securities, and gateway refresh. So these are the major topics that will be covered in this topic. And this is something which is normally essential for any Power BI developer that he need to do in his day-to-day activities. Hope you are clear on this particular part, guys. Do you have any questions on this? Do you have any questions on this? Do you have any questions on this? No. Wonderful. So you can be on mute, because if everyone start, coming on Discord, it can be really difficult for me to recognize. So that's the reason I request everyone to use chat rather than Discord. If there is any questions or concern, okay, you can come on Discord and we can actually discuss it in detail. Okay, good. Good, guys. I got only 1 or 2 response. How about others, guys? How about others?
Yes.
How about others?
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. So first, this is going to be more of theoretical session, but this session is going to be a foundation for you. The reason why I'm calling it as a foundation is because this session will help you to understand which specific Power BI license to be used. What is the architecture behind Power BI? So what are the various types of dashboards that are available in Power BI? Adding to that, what is the life cycle of a dashboard? Okay, how a dashboard has been built, what is the process behind it? Adding to that, why we are speaking about Power BI. So there are various business intelligence tools, and out of which we are speaking about Power BI, and we are giving more emphasis on Power BI. Today in this session, we will be understanding all of them. Okay, so I will just go through the agenda for this particular session. Okay, I hope you are able to see my screen. If you are not able to see my screen, just ping on chat. I'll be there to help you out. Today in this session, just give me a minute. Annotate. Oh, annotate has been disabled. Okay, that's fine. So today in this session, what we'll be doing is we will be understanding what is meant by business intelligence. I don't know what is your background. You might be coming from programming background, development background. You might be coming from testing background. You might be a fresher as well. We don't know. But this course has been designed for people who are coming from various other domains. So here in this session, we will be understanding what is meant by business intelligence, what is meant by Power BI, what is meant by that BI terminology. And we will be understanding the core concepts of BI. Okay, what is meant by strategic dashboards, what are meant by operational dashboards, what are meant by technical dashboards, and all these things. And I will also provide you the basic introduction to Power BI. like what is Power BI, okay, and what are the various different components of Power BI. So we will be understanding them in a very detailed aspect. Okay, so adding to that, in our next session, we will be connecting the Power BI with various different data source. We will be creating petty dashboards, okay, and along with that, we will be also understanding how the dashboards are going to be working. Okay, so these are the things that we will be doing in this session. Okay, adding to that, I also want to ask you, how many of you have Power BI in your system? Just say yes or no on the chat. I'll be waiting for your reply, guys. I will be waiting for your reply. No, no, yes, no. Sanjay Goyal don't have Power BI. Nitin don't have Power BI. Okay. And Rahul Sharma don't have, Ashwini Sharma don't have. Okay. And how about others? Okay. How about others? That's wonderful, guys. That's wonderful. Thank you for letting me know. So now what we will do is we will also install Power BI in our system. Okay, people who have Power BI, I will teach you how to upgrade your Power BI to a lower version to a higher version. That's also we are going to learn. Isn't it very easy? Okay, so these are the topics that we are going to cover in this session. Okay, so now let me let me go ahead and start ahead with the presentation. So now before I start explaining what is meant by Power BI or anything, okay, we badly need to understand, okay, we badly need to understand what is meant by BI, basically the business intelligence, or why business intelligence is basically being used. Business intelligence, okay, is very simple. Okay, like it's like a dashboard, okay, like which is available in your car. When you drive your car, okay, there is a dashboard in front of your car which provides specific information, like what is the speed of the car, which gear you are driving, okay, what is at your back, what is at your front, okay, and adding to that, it also provide you various information like what is the engine condition, okay, whether ABS has been applied or not, okay, or some other information which are very much essential to drive your car. Similarly, to run an organization, we require specific information like what is my sales, okay, why my sales is going down, who is the best salesperson, okay, or else it might be campaign management, like which is that specific campaign which is making more revenue or generating more leads, okay, what is my cost per click, what is my client acquisition ratio. So management like to see or like to understand. Okay, I gave you two examples, but interestingly, there are much more examples which are out in the market. Okay, so for that particular thing, there is a whole vicious cycle. Okay, so the cycle is, first of all, okay, before you build any kind of dashboard, I repeat again, before you build any kind of dashboard, okay, you need to have a question. You need to have the question, which basically means like you want to understand what you want to identify in the dashboard. Okay, what is the business problem? Few of the business problem I can quote is business is having something like 1 lakh rupees and they don't know where to invest and how to invest. A dashboard can help. Okay, there is something called as marketing mix modeling dashboard, which can actually help you to invest, okay, that 1 lakh rupee money into various different campaigns. Okay, or else it might be a manpower forecasting dashboard, which can help you understand how many persons you need in the next so and so days. Okay, how many person you have to hire for so and so days. Do you have the capacity to manage those people in your office? Do you have that workspace in your office? So these are some things which can be really essential. Or else it might be talent management dashboard. Okay, like what type of talent I have, Okay, there might be a person who might be really good with dashboarding, but unfortunately his skill hasn't been explored. Okay, so you can basically see, hey, we have various different projects, but we have one candidate who is in Power BI, who is a really good Power BI expert, but his talent has not been used or utilized. So these kind of information or insights can be received from the dashboard. For that particular thing, you need to have some questions. You need to have a problem. Okay, do you agree with me, guys? Or do you have any questions or concern here? Only two response. Only two response. Only two response. Yes, wonderful. So I am a guy who want my team to be interactive. We have only 11 people, and we can actually utilize this time and money in a very beautiful manner, because if you start discussing things, okay, we can understand the software in a very deeper manner. Okay, we can lay a really good base for you. So that's the reason we are asking you to be really interactive. Okay, hope you're clear on this particular matter. Okay, that's wonderful, guys. That's wonderful. So what I was actually saying is, the first thing is you need to have a business problem, or else you need to have certain questions in your mind. Like, why am I getting so many people from Facebook? Okay, why my leads are getting so many people from, maybe, okay, Facebook targeting may have a really good, this thing, what I can say, turnover ratio. Okay, or else you may have put a larger amount of money for the advertisement, rather than for Google you have paid only something like $10,000, 10,000 rupees, but for Facebook you have allocated something like 90,000 rupees. Obviously you tend to get more, right? So what is that specific factor? So that can be understood with the help of a dashboard. Okay, so first, if I have a question, okay, and I want to answer it, I badly need to have a data. I badly need to have a data. The second most important thing, is to get relevant data, to get the data which is actually important. Like, for example, today it is going to rain or no, it's not going to rain. So if I want to understand whether it is going to rain or whether it is not going to rain, I need to have information related to what is the temperature, what is the humidity, whether the area is cloudy or not, whether we have large amount of, what is the wind. Okay, all these are very crucial aspects. Okay, similarly, when we speak about a business, okay, so if you want to understand why my sales are going up, you need to have sales data, isn't it? Something like that. So the second most important concept is data. And unfortunately or fortunately, 90% of the data what you tend to get, even from an organization, they may not be prepared well. Most of the startups these days do not collect data in a very structured manner. Okay, most of the bigger organizations do tend to get data in a very structured manner. They have SQL servers, they have what I can say, Azure warehouse, okay, big data hive. So where data has been stored in a very structured manner. Okay, you can get information from how old is the data, or else, okay, you can also get information on fact and dimensions as well. So all these things can be used, but fortunately or unfortunately, sometimes, okay, data might be coming from different source as well. Like, data might be coming from Google Alberts, data might be coming from SQL Server, data might be coming from an API. Okay, so there might be different type of data source which you have to get. After getting the data, and there might be tiny amount of data preparation, or it's a large amount of data preparation. Okay, so the third step, which is also important, is the data preparation. You have to prepare the data. And last but not the least, you are going to prepare that report, and then you are going to solve the business problem. So this is the whole cycle. First, there is a question. Okay, from there you are going to get the data. You're just going to clean the data or prepare the data. Then you are going to create the dashboard or reports that is essential for the organization. Then you are going to provided to the managers or supervisor or even a sales representative. It might be anything. Okay, so you can actually provide that. So this is the whole cycle of business intelligence life cycle. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Do you have any questions here? Do you have any questions here? Ashwini say no, Raghavendra say no, Rathod say no, Sharma say no, Rahul Sharma, sorry. How about others? How about others? How about others? Okay. How about Rajesh? How about Akash? It's a just basic cycle before going further steps. Ashwini, what really happens here? This is not a basic step. Okay, this is the whole life cycle itself. So this is the path. This is the path how you are going to build the dashboard tomorrow, and your manager is going to come and he's going to say, "Hey, I want customer churn analysis dashboard." So in that case, this is the whole life cycle that you are going to take. So if you are doing any mistake, for example, okay, let's assume if you are not doing the data, if you are not asking the right question to the manager, okay, so what really happens is, okay, getting the data will get affected, preparing the data will get affected, okay, and interpretation of the data will get affected. Adding to that, okay, you are not able to answer the question which is being asked by your manager. Do you agree with me, Ashwini? This is the whole life cycle. Do you agree? Auto calculated from online system, or data is auto calculated from online system? Akash, okay, just a minute. Is the data needs preparation? Okay, or Akash, that's a really good question. Okay, so in MSBI we have something called as analysis services, SSAS it's also called as, so which actually have a capability to what I can say, run some analytical this thing as well. But even in Power BI you can do data preparation, you can do data cleaning. Okay, so this can actually happen in two ways. You can clean the data in the SQL server or the source itself, or else you can clean the data here as well. Both can be possible. Hope you are clear with this, Akash. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful, guys. That's wonderful. Okay, so now I know everyone are clear on data preparation part. So what I will do is let me go to the next part. Okay, so okay, let me see. I have another question. Okay, how can software assure data collection related to business questions? Ashwini, so software can actually, so for example, let's say, I think someone is not on mute. Amit Kumar Kulkarni. Thank you, Amit. Okay, so I will give you a small understanding here. Okay, for example, you want to understand what is your sales amount. Okay, so in that case, what I will do is, let me go to one of my dashboard that I have created for a US based company. This is the one. So this is a cons. Let me go here. Re-added. Yes, update to. So this is a dashboard related to performance of salespeople in a game. Okay, so there is one game like IPL or something like that. And when the game is actually happening, there are various people, like, in US. So there are people who tend to sell snacks. There are also people who tend to sell beer as well. So these kind of, I mean, there are various levels of this thing information. So what really happens is now the business was actually having various questions. Like they were actually asking, okay, who are those people who I need to keep in my organization and who are the people whom I want to fire? Okay, because keeping salespeople, okay, it's quite an expensive thing for an organization, and they want to understand which is the top salesman, which salesman is not performing well. So what we had done is we have created them a line. So this is the name of the person. This is the name of the person, and if you see that in a very deeper manner, okay, you are able to identify which specific salesman is below the sales average and which specific salesman is above average. Can you see that? So what is the average sales and what is the total sales what I have done for this specific game? There is an event. There is an event which is happening. Okay. And there are various types of events out of which we have selected only one event. And we are trying to understand. Okay. We are also trying to understand, okay, information like how many refunds he is getting. Okay. How many open sales he had made. What is the average sales he had made? Okay, what is the sales, what is the net sales he had made? All these things are available here. And what is his role? Okay, what type of role it is? Okay, whether it is lead bartender or beer pourer. Okay, what specific role he's serving? Okay, these type of information can be understood using a dashboard. Hope you are clear on this particular part, Ashwini. Okay, wonderful, Ashwini. Thank you very much. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let me hop on to the dashboard. Hope you're able to see my screen, guys. Okay, so when we speak about Power BI, you basically need to ask me a question. Why are you teaching me Power BI? Why are you not teaching any other BI services? Okay, there are numerous types of BI services in market. So you have something called as mode, you have something called as looker, you have something called as tableau, okay, you have something called as quick view, okay, chart IO, you have Python and R as well. In Python, you have something called as Python dash, which is actually used for building dashboards. In R, we have something called as Shiny R, wherein we can also build dashboards. And along with that, you have SQL Server, Power BI. So this is something what we are learning. But what we are actually saying is there are numerous amount of BI softwares which are actually available in market. Okay. And out of which we are only concentrating on Power BI because Power BI is the market leader. Power BI is the market leader. So this is bit old. This is bit old. This is the research which was being conducted in the year 2019 by one of the most prominent Gartner. So if you want to read about the organization, if you want to know what the company is actually doing, you will be able to understand it in a very deeper aspect. So what they have done is they try to analyze, okay, which is the technology which is actually good or bad or something like that. So they were able to create something called as BCG metrics. I don't know whether you know about BCG. Okay, so this is something called as BCG metrics. So here, okay, you are going to be basically understanding the niche players, challengers, leaders, market leaders, visionaries. You try to understand these people, okay, and you try to classify those people. And in that, Microsoft Power BI is the leading software in BI industry. Okay. Secondly, there are also comes up a couple of what I can say softwares like Tableau, Quick, okay, and ThoughtSpot. And adding to that, there are also some of the tools like Salesforce, SAS, SAP, okay, which can actually be a market leader in that case. It's actually in something called as BCG. You can read about this BCG metrics. It's if you have done MBA, you will be able to understand this BCG metrics really clean and clear. Okay, so this is the information which is actually available. So which basically speak about that Microsoft is the best BI tool. We will be understanding why I'm calling this as the best BI tool in a very detailed aspect when I discuss about the architecture and the products which are along with Microsoft Power BI. Hope you are clear on this particular part. I think I have one question. Let me see. What is it? I have a question from, yes, BCG, Boston Consultancy Group. Okay, so it's a company. It's still a company. You can actually Google it out. Okay, so they have one patented approach to classify that. So you can Google it out. You will be able to understand it. It's a thought. It's a process how you analyze and visualize the sector or a market. Okay, so how can this assure? Okay, I think that has been answered. Okay, that's wonderful. Do you have any questions, guys? Do you have any questions on this? This matrix will help us to make dashboard. No, this won't help us to make dashboard. That this help you to understand which is the best software to build the dashboard. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ashwini. How about others, guys? How about others? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? I got only one question from Sanjay Goel. Rathod saying no. How about others? How about others? I don't want to call everyone's name. Vijay, thank you very much. Okay. How about Rahul? How about Nitin? How about Akash, Raghavendra, Rajesh? Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So till now, we have understood, okay, various things related to the dashboard. Okay. But now what we will do is we will try to understand, okay, what are the various types of dashboards that we can actually build. Okay, let me discuss this later, but let me discuss why I am actually saying Power BI is one of the best tool out in market. Okay, so this is something called as progress of analytics, or it is also called as hierarchy of analytics as well. Okay, so if you ask what are the various hierarchies of analytics, so you will be able to see this particular chart. I don't know how many of you people have come across this particular visualization, but this visualization speak about the levels which is actually involved in data analysis and data analytics. Okay, and here, okay, the first thing which is actually going to be analyzed is called as descriptive analytics. What is meant by descriptive analytics? So people who are coming from a statistical background, they will be able to understand, hey, descriptive analytics means mean, median, mode. Yes, it's very, very simple. Descriptive analysis means the information which specify the column, like age. So let's assume you have a column called as age. So what is the minimum age? What is the maximum age? What is the average age? What is the median? What is the mode? So all these things comes under something called as descriptive analysis. Okay, and the descriptive analysis is a part of Power BI, and in Power BI we have something called as column profiling. Okay, wherein you will be able to understand all these questions like mean, median, mode, central tendency, minimum, maximum, range, all these things in Power BI. And Power BI is able to handle this specific information. Okay, hope you're clear on this particular part that is called as descriptive analytics. If you have any questions or concern, come on Discord and let me know. And if you feel that I'm a bit fast, kindly let me know so that I can actually slow down, because I want the session to be very dynamic. I want the session to be very interactive. Okay, I want the session to be very robust. Okay, so if you feel that I want to be slow, I can also be slow based on your request. Am I fast or slow, or am I okay? Just let me know on the chat. I'm waiting for your reply. You are okay. Nitin is saying, wonderful, Nitin. How about others? Rathod is saying, okay. How about others? Vijay is saying, okay. Normal. Okay, thank you. Someone who say fast. Someone who say fast. Rahul Sharma is saying, okay. Going well. Wonderful. Thanks for that. Going well. How about others? How about others? Okay, that's wonderful. I got many response. Let me continue. So descriptive analysis is all about the describing the data. And I want to ask you, do you have any questions related to descriptive analysis? Any questions related to descriptive analysis? Yes or no? If you have any questions, come on Discord. I assume there are no questions. Okay, so just let me proceed ahead. So after understanding the descriptive analysis, the second most important thing is called as diagnostic analysis. What is diagnostic analysis? Diagnostic analysis is all about understanding what is that factor which is actually influencing, like. So for example, if you go to hospital, if you see that the person is going to have cancer, okay, let's assume XYZ person is having some cancer. Let's assume it's blood cancer or tumor or something like that. So there is a diagnosis process which will actually happen. What they will do, they will go, they will understand certain things. Like they will say, okay, there is a tumor, then there might be a tumor. Tumor cancer. Or in blood, if there is one specific variant, or if there is one specific levels of what I can say component which is very high, then we are going to say, oh, he is having blood cancer, something like that. Okay, so a factor will be influencing another factor. Okay, so we will be understanding what is that specific factor. Like in a simple way, in a business analytics, so what we tend to do is, for example, we are having a sales from a very specific region is very high. Like ice creams are sold really high in Rajasthan. Okay, and we don't know why. Okay, in diagnostic analysis, we will try to understand, okay, we have a region called as Rajasthan. In that region, we are having high sales. We will try to chunk it down. Which specific district in Rajasthan, whether it is Jaisalmer, whether it is Udaipur, whether it is Jaipur, whether it's the Pushkar, which specific area, if we are able to find all the areas are having equal this thing, then we will try to understand what is the temperature out in Rajasthan. Then we will get, okay, the temperature out in Rajasthan is something like 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. That's it. Oh, summer is going to summer is that particular factor which is actually influencing the sales of the ice cream. Then you will try to target which are those other places where there is high amount of temperature. You will be able to find there are some place in Gujarat, there are some place in Maharashtra, there are some place in Karnataka, there are some place in Andhra Pradesh which have a higher level of temperature in summer. So then you try to modify your business strategy in such a way that you will be able to cater your ice cream, or try to cater your ice cream for these locations as well. Hope you are able to get it, how diagnostic analysis can actually help your business. Say yes or no. I have 3 questions. Okay, I think 3 comments. Let me see. Okay. I have Nitin is saying, I need to ask, I have question on descriptive analysis. Yes, Nitin. Yes, Nitin. You can come on Discord.
So
I'm extremely sorry, Nitin. Okay, there is a echo.
Is it better now?
Yes, it is better now.
Okay, fine. So what I was saying, when we look into it, whenever we do this kind of analytics, it is not always that we have some descriptive analysis around the past problem. Sometimes we try to visualize the future things also. The way it has been explained.
I'm extremely sorry, Nitin. I'm extremely sorry. I'm not able to understand it clean and clear. Okay, if someone is there, who can help me out with this thing, that would be wonderful, guys.
Just a minute. Vijay, you just no, you just mute.
Is it clear now? Is it better?
Yes, it is better, but you had a little bit of echo. That's absolutely fine, Nitin. Yes.
Okay, I'm going.
Yes, Nitin.
Yeah, the point which I was making is that when we look into it, the progression of analytics, it talks about some descriptive analytics about being past matter only. But generally in our case, it's not like that also. Sometimes we are forecasting the things, or sometimes we are trying to visualize the future also. So descriptive analytics will include that part also. As I understand is that what happened means that what basically we want, it could be two things. I can say that, okay, suppose I am saying, just giving you an example from our context, that one of the geographies sales is happening very high. Now I'm going to investigate why it is happening, but I can also do the analytics for saying that I want to increase my sales in these geographies, and that can also be the part of my descriptive analytics. Is my understanding correct on that count? Descriptive analytics means this is something what I want to analyze.
Descriptive analysis means, okay, you are going to describe. So here, descriptive analysis means, okay, so let's assume your sales are going up. Okay, what is the amount that your sales can go up? Okay, so there will be a range, right? So let's assume your production capabilities for something like 1 lakh rupees, and you are keeping something like 20 lakh margin, and the total amount of sales that you can make, the highest is 1,20,000. You cannot make something like 5 lakhs, okay, isn't it? Until and unless there is a huge demand. Okay, so descriptive analysis can actually help you to understand what is the maximum sales I can make, what is the minimum sales I can make, okay, what is my BEP. So these are some of the questions that can be understood with descriptive analysis. Diagnostic analysis means which specific factor which is actually influencing. Like if you have sales, what is that thing which is actually affecting the sales? Is it the discount? If you are giving high amount of discount, people are buying. Is it that particular thing? No. Okay. Is it the geography? There is one specific geography where your sales are high. There are other geographies where your sales are low. Something like this. Is it that particular thing? Or else, it might be something like anomalies, something like that. So you will be able to identify or understand it in diagnostic analysis. And adding to that, you also spoke about something called as forecasting. Forecasting normally comes under something called as predictive analytics. It is completely different from descriptive analysis and diagnostic analysis. Yes, there is a linkage between descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, and predictive analysis, which basically mean if your descriptive analysis is going to be bad, then your diagnostic analysis will be also bad. If your diagnostic analysis is bad, then obviously your predictive analysis is also going to be bad. So there is a link, or there is a hierarchy, okay, or there is a chain link between these things. Okay, hope you are clear on this particular part, Nitin.
Let me rephrase my query. Like I'm saying, taking the same example. Suppose I say that, okay, my sales in the northern geographies are low, and my first thing which I want to understand is that if I have to grow my sales in the north, whether it can be part of my descriptive analysis or not, or I have to go back to the first data point itself, that what
No.
currently driving the sales, and from there I have to go to the predictive one, that if I have to increase my sales, then what all needs to be done via diagnostic analytics. Is this always the approach?
Descriptive analysis will have only one specific column. Okay, you spoke that sales in north or south. Okay, sales in north or south. Sales is one column, north and south is our second column. You cannot have two columns in descriptive analysis. There will be only one column in descriptive analysis. Okay.
Clear. No.
Okay, hope you are clear on this particular part, sir. So if it is going to be two columns like sales as well as north, then it is diagnostic analysis. Okay. So Ashwini Sharma is saying factors which affect our objective means like, yes, you are absolutely right. Which is that particular factor which is affecting our business? In statistical terminology, it is also called as significant factor and insignificant factor. Hope you know about that. Okay. Yes, you are absolutely partially right. Okay. Ashwini. Okay. Wonderful. So any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I assume so. No, let me continue. Okay. So we understood descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis. And after these two, analysis, there is the higher level of analysis, which is actually called as predictive analysis. What will actually happen tomorrow? What will actually happen tomorrow? Okay, like sales. Okay, sales today, 2022 is something like 1,20,000. And what will be my sales in the month of what I can say December, or in the month of November? So that specific thing, forecasting, comes under predictive analysis. There is a huge difference between forecasting and prediction, but normally it has been clubbed along with predictive analytics itself. Forecasting do come under predictive analytics. So here, what I was actually saying is, to predict anything, okay, you will be using this specific thing called as predictive analytics. What will actually happen tomorrow? Okay, so this thing can be used in various industries like supply chain industry, like inventory management, because they want to do EOQ techniques and all. So in that case, they also try to understand, I have a capacity where I can actually store something like 100 box of goods, but my sales are going up and down. So do I need to buy a different warehouse where I can store another 1000 box or something like that? All these decisions can be made using predictive analytics. Okay, so I assume that you are clear on this predictive analytics part. Yes or no? Yes or no? I got only two response. Sanjay and Ashwini Sharma. How about others? Rathod, you say yes. Nitin say yes. Rahul say yes. Vijay say yes. Kemandas, is it, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Or is it something else? Kemandas. Yes, Kemandas. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, Akash. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. So last but not the least, we have something called as prescriptive analysis. Like, I gave you one of the example, like there is you have, using diagnostic analysis, you have done one of the this thing, what I can say, conclusion, that whenever there is a high amount of temperature, then the sales of the ice cream is also going to go up. You understood it. And along with that, you have also identified some mapping, like there are some places like Vidarbha and all these region in Maharashtra, and you have Ahmedabad and all these regions where temperature is going to go high. And along with that, you also have Chambal Bhidad, where also temperature is going to go high. You have some places in Andhra Pradesh, like you have place like what I can say, Kurnool, Guntur, okay, where temperature is going to go high. Similarly, in Karnataka, you have certain places like Raichur, Ballari, and all these places where temperature are going to be very high. You identify these places. Then what you do is you channelize your supply chain. You will ask your supply chain, hey, I want to target these specific locations, okay, and dispatch so and so goods to these locations as well. So this dispatching, this suggestion, recommendation is going to be provided by using something called as prescriptive analysis. Prescriptive, what is prescriptive? You go to a doctor, you will say, hey, I have so and so problem, I have so and so problem with my this thing, I have fever, I have cold, I have red eyes, something like that. Using or understanding it, he will do the diagnosis, and after doing the diagnosis, he will prescribe some drugs like paracetamol, or it might be painkillers, or these kind of things, isn't it? So this prescription can be provided for a business problem. So these are the specific hierarchy which are going to be involved in regular business. So Power BI is one specific technology which can actually handle something called as descriptive analysis, wherein you have something called as column profiling, wherein you can understand or do descriptive analysis. You also have a couple of visualizations like a box plot visualization, histogram visualization in Power BI, wherein you can actually use box plot, histogram, and plot this thing, what I can say, variables as well. You can do this specific thing, descriptive analysis. Diagnostic analysis, you can do univariate analysis, multivariate analysis. You can bring three different what I can say variables and try to understand, like complicated stack bar chart, or hierarchical stack bar chart, clustered charts. Using these things, you can analyze multiple this thing, what I can say, columns in that particular thing. Just give me a minute. I think I have one question. can you explain basic difference between predictive and prescriptive? Basic difference between predictive and prescriptive. So what will actually happen in predictive analysis? You are going to predict, okay, so what is my sales tomorrow? But prescriptive analysis will actually suggest you, okay, you are having high amount of sales, okay, then you don't have your warehouse at that specific level, so you have to increase your warehouse, you have to buy different warehouse wherein you can actually accommodate the extra this thing, what I can say, amount of box that you are producing. Or else you have to procure the raw materials, the raw materials price is going to go up or something like that. Okay, if there is raw materials pricing hike, then you are also going to say that, hey, there is a raw material pricing hike though, so for that particular thing you also need to increase your MRP as well. So these types of suggestions can be provided by prescriptive analytics. Predictive analytics is going to say, okay, tomorrow your sales is 1,50,000, that's it, it won't do anything. But prescriptive analysis is going to fine tune, it is going to help you to provide with specific information. Hope you are able to get it. Ashwini.
Hello, my voice is clear.
Yes, your voice is clear, sir.
As you said, predictive analysis means we predict what's the volume or how much volume we can sell in tomorrow. Okay,
Yes.
but according to the predictive, how we can prescribe, uh, how can we
That's a
prescribe?
good question.
This is the only good we can sell, but there is some kind of constraint about the space at our warehouse. My means to say prescriptive analysis must be before predictive, then predictive
Yes,
analysis
sir.
must be at a last
Yes, you're
stage.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So before formulating this thing, for example, what we tend to do is we create some alerts. Okay, so so there will be analysis which will be done, and I want to say, if my sales is going to go up more than 500 units, then there need to be an email that need to be sent to me, okay, which need to say, hey, your sales has gone up by 500 units, so that's the reason you have to plan your supply chain efficiently, so these are the steps that you have to take. So something like this can be embedded in Power BI, so that the dashboard will be fine, it will be running as it is, okay. And one specific trigger, like if the sales go down below something like 100 units, then there need to be an email that need to be sent, hey, your sales is going down, so that's the reason you have to take some crucial action, wherein you have to fire so and so people from your this thing, what I can say, region or team or this particular thing, because you are not meeting the B or break even point for the organization. So something like this. Okay, so these alerts can be actually sent. So these alerts are nothing but prescriptive analytics alerts, okay, which are coded prior itself, okay, before the event. For example, if the event has reached 500, you have coded something like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months back itself, that if it is going to happen, then this is going to be your logic. Okay, this is your plan that need to happen, so this is going to be prior. Okay, as you have told, you are absolutely right, these actions need to be taken prior, before predictive analytics. Okay, so that's the reason predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics need to happen hand in hand. Sometimes diagnostic analysis and predictive prescriptive analytics will happen, like you are going to diagnose and there is no predictive part, directly prescriptive part, something like this. Even those kind of scenarios will also appear. There is no mandatory rule that predictive analytics need to be there to do prescriptive analytics, something like that. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Yes or no? Clear and clear. Ashwini has another question, but you can come on Discord, Ashwini. You can discuss this.
My question, another question is like, without prescription, how we can predict? So means prescriptive analysis must be before the predictive analysis.
Yes, your predictive analytics before.
Without prescription, how we can predict
Mhm.
any analysis, any constant, any concern, any issues?
So so these are some of the things that need to be coded prior itself. Like, so let's assume you are doing forecasting, okay, and in that forecasting you want to see that if my tomorrow's forecast is more over 1000 units or something like that, then I have to plan my different supply chain. I have to hire another bus, I have to hire and other things. So there is, in all the companies, there is something called as budgeting unit. Okay, so those are financial experts who do budgeting. Okay, for selling 1000 unit of goods in my company, the cost involved is so and so, and the budgeting unit or the budgeting people, their job is to cut down the cost in such a way that the logistic cost is low, the inventory cost is low, the supply chain cost is low, the sales cost is low, okay, which is also called as COGS as well. So all this cost needs to come down, okay, and there need to be high amount of margin which need to be left for the organization. And these types of information, like if the tomorrow the sales is going to go up, so in that case these budgeting people will come into the picture. I don't know you have worked in a financial department or not, but there is a team called as budgeting department who tend to do all these tasks. And the budgeting department will say, hey, if tomorrow if you are planning to do 12,000 unit sales, then these are the steps, or these are the cost that are going to involve. Sometimes the cost might be high, sometimes the cost might be low. So they also do budgeting on logistics as well. Like if I'm going to go for a Tata Ace, how much cost it is going to occur? If I'm going to hire a 407, what is the cost I'm going to incur? If I'm going to hire a mini truck, what is going to be the cost? And if I'm going to say a large truck, how much is it going to cost? So all these things need to be done prior itself. So budgeting team is one such team which will do that particular task. And I don't think there is lots of no speaking that need to be done from an operational department. Okay, so in your team, the budgeting team will come into the picture. They will say, hey, these are the things that you have to do for so and so things. Okay, and this is it. Before itself, the budgeting team will provide, okay, so hey, if you are planning to go up for sales so and so, then this is the cost that are going to involve, and these are the steps that you have to take, and budgeting team will provide that particular thing, and you have to incorporate it into your dashboards. Like if the budgeting team is going to say, hey, if you are planning to go for 1200 units, then you have to buy another Tata Ace, something like that. Okay, so you are buying Tata Ace, that is a cost which is actually involved, right? So what companies tend to do is, if there is a forecast, like if there is saying that 1200 units will be sold, they will say, okay, 1200 units, okay, they will say, okay. Then if the actual is also 1200 units, and if it is going to hit something like 3 to 4 months, okay, then they will try to upscale. Then they will take loan, they will take some what I can say, they will hire some people, and they will facilitate the demand. So this is how all the organization in entire world, not only India, entire world will actually happen. And this is the standard concept in supply chain. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Ashwini, I think I have answered your question. Yes, Vijay, I think you have another question, right?
Just to continue with the same example and the same case. My understanding is that our prescriptive analytics will be bounded by whatever data database is there at the descriptive analytics part only. Just continue with your example. Suppose I want to increase my sales from 1000 units to 1200 units. Now that's very okay. I can say that I can go there. I may say that I have the enough warehouses also there. I have my sales team to do that. I have advertising budget also for that. I have considered all those things. But all those things would come into the picture only if my basic data is having those kind of details. That for 1000 units, how much budget has to be there. If I want to do 1200 units, then what should be the budget? And if I'm saying even all these are covered, I may be missing out that I don't have that kind of working capital with me, because that is not part of my basic data. So my only thing was that we can go and provide a prescriptive analytics. I can go and say that, yes, boss, you can do it from 1000 to 1200 because we have these kind of things with us, because my database is kept. But it might be possible that some relevant constraining factor I am missing out. I am not considering that for that this much cash would be required, which is not there in my data. Then it will not get highlighted in my prescriptive analytics as well.
Yes, you are partially right. Okay. Yes, I also need to admit with your answer. Okay. Yes, that is something which happens in regular business, and we need to be bound with that.
Fine.
Okay. So these are the things, and interestingly, Power BI is able to handle all of them. Okay, like you can do diagnostic analysis, as I've previously told. Like you can plot bar graph, cluster bar graph, pie charts, and all these things. You can incorporate something called as slicers. You can do diagnostic analysis. Predictive analytics, yes, a Power BI is capable to handle machine learning algorithms as well. It won't run in Power BI, but there will be Spark which will run independently outside Power BI, and the data will be plugged into Power BI, something like this. So you can get predictive data into Power BI and do the visualization. I was a part of a data science team way back between 2018 to 2019, wherein we used to build analytical dashboards on customer analytics. So who is my customer, how his buying pattern of customers are, what is his profit he's actually making, so all these things. So we used to do something called as customer segmentation, business forecasting, demand forecasting. So for all these things, we used to have predictive models. Okay, they used to provide the data. It used to be lying in the blob storage. So we used to fetch that data from blob, and we used to visualize it in our what I can say, Tableau. Okay, so this is the hierarchy given. You can also plug in the data into Power BI and actually visualize it. And adding to that, if you also want, if you think that I have a script, Python script, you can also incorporate Python or R script into Power BI and do local, what I can say, processing as well. If you feel that your data is not very complicated or very big or something like that, you can also incorporate these kind of things to predict, specific events. So Power BI can also handle predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics. As I've told you that you can create custom alerts, custom goal. You also have these days, you also have something called as goals as well. You can do custom emailing as well. So all these things can be done in Power BI, so that if there is some uncertainties or something like that in tomorrow case, so you get a prior warning or something like that, or you just get a warning email. So these types of prescriptive analytics can be incorporated in Power BI. So in simple way, you can involve all the hierarchy of business analytics in Power BI. And interestingly, so when you speak about descriptive analytics, this can be very, very easy, very easy. But when we speak about prescriptive analytics and all these things, this can be very, very tough. Okay, and the chance of going error is very, very high in prescriptive analytics, and the chance of having an error in descriptive analytics is very, very low. So it is a small this thing, but most of the organization are actually trying to aim optimization this specific information. Like they, by the sales, okay, they want to know what is actually happening in the organization, something like that. Hope you are able to clear on this. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Any questions, guys? Any questions? It's clear. Sanjay say yes. How about others? Ashwini, Rathod, Khemdas, Rahul Sharma. Vijay. That's absolutely fine, guys. Okay, thanks for your comment. So now you have understood what are the various types of levels and what are the various types of complications that are actually available in preparing the dashboard. So now let me go to my another slide, which is actually called as types of dashboard. So if you are a Power BI developer, then what are the various types of dashboards that you may actually come up with or you may build? So majorly you will be building something called as, where is this? You will be building something called as strategic dashboard, operational dashboard, analytical dashboard, or technical dashboard. So these are the only 4 different types of dashboard that you will be creating. In this this thing, okay, there is no pure line or what I can say difference between strategic dashboard and analytical dashboard. For example, here in strategic dashboard, I might be using KPI. So even in analytical dashboard, I might be using KPI as well. So these things can actually change, but the purpose of these dashboards are different. What I basically mean by that is, if you are speaking about strategic dashboard, this type of dashboards are normally used by high level people, like the manager, the CEO, the CXO. So what they want to understand is, they don't want to understand which region is making what type of profit. They are more interested in what is my what I guess my profit, what is my cost which is actually involved. Okay, how much tax I have to pay. Okay, how much violation has actually happened in my this thing, how much discount we are providing. They want to see a holistic picture of the organization rather than a very detailed aspect. Okay, so they don't want too much of detailing. So for those kind of things, strategic dashboards are really essential. So where they stand, so most of the organization, 90% of the organization do come up with something called as strategic goals. Like they say that this is our vision, this is our mission, we want to achieve, we want to open something like 200 stores in the next what I can say 5 years. So they have provided verbal statement in board meeting. Okay, now the manager need to accomplish that. They have to have 200 or 500, whatever they have promised, stores in India. So so in that dashboard, they will be having one of the aspect wherein they will be how many stores we have opened. Okay, in the month of January, how many stores we opened. In the month of February, how many stores we have opened. Okay, what is the increase of store rate? What is the rate that I'm actually increasing my stores? Okay, what is the cash availability? How much profit I'm making from each stores? Okay, these are some of the information that a manager or a CEO like to see. So for that, okay, there is a set of dashboards which are called as strategic dashboards, which will actually help an organization to achieve the long-term vision. Okay, help them to achieve the long-term vision, and something what they have actually promised in the board meeting. So all these things will be involved in strategic dashboard. Hope you are clear on this particular strategic dashboards. Clear and clear, guys? Any questions? Any questions? Rathod is clear. How about others? Goel say now. This yes and no is good. Goel, do you have any questions? Okay, that's fine. You mean no questions? Okay, I got it. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so operational dashboards. Okay, so this is another set of dashboards which are normally used by mid-level managers. Like they want to understand, they want to compare one aspect with another aspect. Like let's assume there is a digital marketing manager. Okay, he's in mid-level manager who want to understand which specific campaign is making what amount. So there is campaign number 1, campaign number 2, campaign number 3. Which campaign is making good revenue? Which specific ad is providing me more leads? Whether the ads from Facebook are having high conversion ratios, or what it is. He will try to understand the patterns behind it. Okay, what is happening? Why I'm getting too many leads from campaign number 1 or something like that. So all these things come under operational management, and I'm just giving you a small brief understanding. Operation dashboard can be what I can say digital marketing dashboard, or else it can be something like financial operation dashboards, like that. What is my cash availability? How much cash disposal how much cash disposal I'm making? Okay, what is the cash burn ratio? They create something called as cash burn ratio. How much amount of what is the rate of amount I'm burning my cash? Something like this. Things come under something called as operational dashboard. Okay, operational dashboards can actually help you to give a complete overview on a specific segments. Like financial operational dashboard, like digital marketing operational dashboard, or else, what I can say, production operation dashboard, like how much production I'm making, which lane, because when you actually go to a factory, there might be having multiple lanes, multiple conveyor belts, which conveyor belt is fast, which conveyor belt is slow, how many products I'm getting from which machine, okay, how much breakdown that machine is actually having, which is the good machine, which is the bad machine. All these things can be understood, compared, okay, using operational dashboard. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Any questions, guys? No. Ashwini Sharma saying no. How about others? How about Amit Kumar, Rajesh, Ravindra, Sanjay, Rahul Sharma, Akash? How about others, guys? Why I'm getting very less response? How about others? I'm extremely sorry, guys. Sorry to say this, because we are in a, what I can say, remote environment. And in this environment, what really happens is we cannot see you. Okay. And unfortunately, okay, there might be some internet glitch or something like that. Okay. So if you are clear on that particular thing, we both can actually test, okay, which either there is a internet issue from my end or your end, because I have a really good internet. Okay. Yet, what is it? Can you can you show an example while explaining types? Yes, we can do that. I will show you. Okay. I hope there are a couple of dashboards which are actually available. I will show you. Okay, what happened? Example. Okay, that's wonderful. Let me open Google. Okay. Operational dashboard. Operational dashboard. Let me say finance. So there is one example of a financial dashboard. Okay. So what are the information that are available here? I'm extremely sorry. Quick ratio, current ratio. Okay. What is the current ratio means? What is the amount that I'm having in my hand? Okay. Cash balance, how much cash balance I'm having. Okay. What is daily sales outstanding? Okay. What I have to provide to the organization. Inventory outstanding. Okay. Payables outstanding, the amount that I have to pay. Okay, something like this. So this is a very small cash management dashboard. Okay, this is only cash management dashboard. Operational dashboard, operational revenue dashboard. What is the revenue? Okay, something like this. Can you see that? Similarly, these are operational dashboard, like operational dashboard for finance, operational dashboard for supply chain. Oh, chain, CHA. Okay, supply chain. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, this is not a really good supply chain. This can be good. A good. Okay, supply chain dashboard. Okay, just give me a minute. It is loading. Okay, how many trucks I have? Okay, and I'm sorry, guys. I mean, the quality is a bit poor. But what they are saying is, what is the truck? What is the efficiency? What is the distance they have covered? All these things. What is the hour average number of hour the truck is traveling, and all this information. Supply chain. This thing. What I can say. Hope you are able to get it. And warehouse information, warehouse dashboard. Okay, what is my BEP and all these things. Oh, sorry, EOQ, economic order quantity. Okay, what is my inventory term. Okay, whether my inventory is low or high. All this information can be seen here. Hope you are able to get it. Okay, these are operational dashboard. Strategic dashboard. Oh, yes, dear. Strategic spelling. Okay, that's absolutely fine. A strategic dashboard, like what is the risk amount, what is the project budget, okay, overdue task. Okay, so this is, I think this might be related to IT sector, I assume so, because they have some deadline as well. Project log, project. So it might be related to some project execution. So project summary, start date, end date, when it will start, when it will end, all this information. Hope you're able to understand. So or else something like this. Okay, what is your growth? Okay, what is your projected growth? What is your current growth? Okay, so normally all the companies like Reliance, they will say my next target is something like 4 lakh units or something like that. So every quarter they will come and they will say, okay, this month we have made so and so profit, and we have plans to increase our sales to so and so, okay, amount. So no company will say we have a plan to decrease our sales to so and so. No one will say, but most of the companies will say that, okay, these are our plans, this is our execution and all these things. Okay, investors are also going to invest on these stocks based on this even when you have an IPO and all these things, they have something called red herring prospectives and all, so which speak about what the company is going to do using your money. Okay, like today we have LIC IPO, right? So they have disclosed the red herring perspective. They have told what are the plans that they are going to take in the next 5 years. Okay, so all this has been well documented and they are going to follow. Okay, so if they are not going to follow, they are answerable. So all the investor will hold their collar, not literally hold their collar, but something very similar. They will ask why you told so and so, but you failed. So it is a bad impression for an organization. So all these things, all these dashboards are going to do that particular task. So these are strategic dashboard. I showed you operational dashboard. Now I will show you something called as technical dashboard. Oh, analytical dashboard. Let me show analytical dashboard. Analytical dashboard. Analytical dashboard. Analytical dashboards, like you have something called as, in sales you have something called as sales funnel. Let's assume you have something like 100 leads. Out of those 100 leads, you are selling your product to only 5 people. So out of 100 leads, only 5 clients got converted. What happened with those 95 people? Where, in which specific area they are getting stuck? Why they are getting stuck? Do they have a problem with budget, pricing, product? What is that particular thing that is actually holding a customer to buy our product? That can be understood something by using something called as sales funnel. So sales funnel diagram actually looks something like this. Okay, and adding to that, okay, we will show some nice one. See here, this is a sales revenue profit analysis. Okay, so how sales and profit are going to correlate. So here I think you might be also having cost as well, cost of sales and all these things component which will be involved. See, you will be able to identify which specific location my sales is coming and all these things. So there is quite a bit of analytical thing which is actually involved. There are also organizations which also involve a couple of machine learning algorithms as well. Like there will be buying backend, there will be machine learning algorithm that will run, and after running that, the output will get featured in that. And in my organization, we also had various machine learning algorithms, and we used to also see which specific algorithm is making what amount of profit. Like let's assume your model is making something like 95% of accuracy. Then obviously when it go to 95% accuracy, then you might be thinking whether there is any overfitting issue which is actually happening. So if there is no overfitting or something like that, okay, that is fine. If the model is making something like from 95 it is going to 85, then what is the threshold that need to, for example, if we also used to create a threshold, like if the model accuracy is going to go below 80%, then we have to do an overhaul on the model, something like that. So we used to create this threshold, upper boundary, lower boundary, average boundary. So we used to create a range. If the machine learning model is running, it need to have an accuracy in between this particular range. If it is going to go up, it used to be called as good. If it is going to go down, okay, we used to raise our alarm. Okay, we had an alert mechanism which we have kept. Whenever the sales amount used to go down, there used to be an official email that used to be sent to the model manager So the data scientist used to, okay, oh, this particular model has poorly performed. Then he used to talk to the chief data scientist, and he used to report him saying that, sir, this model has gone off balance. I think we have to do an overhaul. Then there used to be a process wherein they used to fine tune the algorithm, whether they used to experiment with different algorithm, whether they used to continue with the same algorithm, something like this. So we have also, and people can also use these kind of analytical dashboard for that particular purpose as well. Hope you're clear on this particular part. Analytical dashboard. Clean and clear. Clean and clear. I have 4 questions. Let me see. Can you see production dashboard? You can Google it down. Okay, production dashboard on Google. You will be able to get numerous production dashboard. Why are you typing here? I'm just saying that. Okay, let me do it for you, my friend. Okay. Production dashboard. How much you are producing. Okay. So I think I have created something called as production dashboard. Let me see. Do I have it? I created way back in 2019. Schedule optimization dashboard. Where is this schedule optimization? No, I don't have it. No worries. Something like this. Production date. Okay. What is the waste product that your plant is giving? What is the expenses, manpower, diesel recovered? Okay, actual. Okay, I mean basically the actual recoverable. Rejected products, how much the product got rejected. QC, QA. Okay, defective products. Okay, damaged products, others. Okay, rejection ratios. So along with that, you also had something called as total production. Okay, active machines, how many machines are active. Okay, sales revenue and all these things. In my next tutorial, if possible, I will also show you one schedule optimization dashboard. So we have used schedule optimization, that is an algorithm. Along with schedule optimization, we have also used lanes. Like you have, let's assume you have 4 different production machines. Okay, and they will have maintenance, they will have overhaul, they will have breakdown. So we used to channelize, okay, this machine need to produce so and so equipments for so and so time, and it need to run on. So we used to plan that schedule optimization. We used to plan that production unit for these machines. So even that dashboard was available, and that dashboard can be used by people who are line managers. Okay, so for that it was really helpful. So similarly, see here. Okay, workflow production dashboard. Okay, this is another this thing, how many work people they are actually having. So these are some of the dashboards which are actually available for what I can say, production. Hope you are able to get it. Khimandas, clean and clear. Sanjay is having one question. Yes, Sanjay, how can I help you?
Yes, Sanjay here. Sanjay,
Yes.
my question is actually that, like you said, we are using 4 types of dashboards, like strategic, operational, analytical, and tactical. Okay.
Mhm.
So the tacticals, what I have seen, like you can say monitoring performance or analytics, means day to day we can monitor the performance or monitor the check performance and all. Means we can say that, for example, today we have started, and after 1 and 2 years or 3 years, so that once the data got matured, then dashboard automatically get transferred into considered as a strategic dashboard, or can say operational dashboard. Like the same data can be used for other dashboards also, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. And I will raise your topic. Okay, when I will be teaching you data flows, I will be incorporating this, because this is one of the strategy what we tend to use. Okay, and this you have raised one of the most interesting thing, because see, we tend to keep data refresh. Okay, so Sanjay, I just want to add a little bit extra on this. Okay, so let's assume you are having 100 dashboards and using one single data source. Let's assume what really happens is, if you try to refresh all the dashboard with different query, what will actually happen is the load on the server will actually get increased. the server, there is a high chance that the server will fail. So in Power BI, what we also have is we can actually create something called as master data set. And using that master data set, we can create 100 different dashboards. Okay, so this integration collaborations can be done. Okay, and yes, you are 100% right. Like for example, if I am into HR industry, okay, so some of the financial information will be coming from financial data. Some of the information like talent and all these things will be coming from project manager. So project manager will say, hey, I want a guy who is having skills in Python, who is having skills in what I can say, Java, and these kind of things. Similarly, HR, they only know how much amount, how much salary I'm paying, what is the CTC, what is the performance review, which we have done previously. Okay, whether this candidate is meeting the expectations laid by the organization. So all this information can be an internal, which is generated inside the HR department itself. But they have to get some information from financial department. They have to get some information from project department. Okay, so all these things, integration and all these things, okay, will normally tend to happen here. These types of combinations tend to happen here and there. And yes, you're absolutely right. We in whenever we build dashboards, we normally tend to have these kind of things. I agree with your point. Sanjay. Okay, that's wonderful. Hemantas, do you want another dashboard? So last but not the least, we have something called as technical dashboards. So these type of dashboards are normally used for monitoring, performance analytics, KPI. So majorly technical dashboards are being used by blue collar employees. Analytical dashboard and operational dashboards are going to be used by mid-level managers or something like that. So this is the overall picture how dashboards are being used and consumed. Okay, basically the hierarchy. Okay, hope you are clear on this particular part, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm there to help you out. Okay, that's wonderful. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Any questions from Nitin, Rahul, Rajesh, Sanjay, Vijay, Ravindra, Akash, Amit Kumar, Ashwini? I have no questions from Ravindra. Akash has been a little bit active. Amit Kumar, very less response from Amit Kumar. Okay. And Rajesh, yes, Rajesh, you have to be a little bit active as well. Okay. Vijay is quite active. Okay. Okay, wonderful, guys. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. So till now, what you have understood is what are the various different methods that Power BI can actually help you. Now we will jump and understand what is meant by Power BI. What is meant by Power BI? In a simple way, guys, in a simple way, Power BI is a SaaS-based product. Okay, software as a solution. Where is this SaaS-based? Somewhere it might be written somewhere here. SaaS-based. Yes, it is out here. Which basically means it's a product that can be installed in your system, and along with that, it can also be accessed from the server as well. Okay, and you can use it as an application or as a web service as well. Okay, so majorly there are three different there are three different products which are actually available when you actually buy Power BI. Okay, so when you buy Power BI, there is a application called as Power BI Desktop. Okay, which will get installed in your system. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, Power BI Desktop, something like this. Adding to that, there is also something called as Power BI Desktop Report Server. Power BI Report Server. Power BI Report Server. So this one. So this is also a tool. Okay. So the main difference between Power BI Desktop and Power BI Desktop, the main difference between Power BI Desktop and Power BI Report Server is there will be something called as RS, which will be written here on the logo. So Power BI logo is something like this. There will be something called as black color RS, which will be written on this. So this will be used for report server for building dashboards. I mean, reports, sorry. Okay. You cannot build dashboards using, report servers application. So this is one of the product which is also available along with this thing. So you have Power BI desktop and you have Power BI desktop report server, these two applications. Okay, majorly it is called as Power BI desktop itself. Okay, we will open Power BI desktop. We will show how Power BI need to be installed and all these things within something like 30 minutes on an average. And adding to that, this is called as Power BI desktop. And adding to that, you also have something called as Power BI. Just give me a minute. Apps dot Power BI .com. So adding to that, you also have something called as Power BI service, okay, which can be accessed using something called as apps.powerbi.com. Okay, so this specific license, okay, I mean this if you have license or if you even don't have license, you can actually have it. Okay, and you can actually see various types of what I can say this thing. So you can see reports, you can see dashboards. Okay, see here we have a dashboard, we have a report. Okay, we can also have something called as workspace, all these things, okay, inside this. So you are going to build your dashboard in your system, and adding to that you are going to publish that particular this thing, what I can say, report into something called as Power BI service. Okay, so when you do that, that dashboard will come into this particular this particular area, and here you have various types of workspace. Okay, so workspace means like departments, like you have finance department, you have operational department, you have budgeting department, something like some of the departments. So so this will actually help you to segregate your work in a different way and use it. And adding to that, you also have development pipelines, like I don't know whether you are coming from software background or not. You have something called as development environment, testing environment, and production environment. All these three environments will be available in this Power BI. So all these things are available in this particular service. So whenever you buy Power BI, okay, so you will get Power BI desktop, and adding to Power BI desktop, you will be also having something called as Power BI this thing as well, what I can say, service as well, that will be provided. Even though if you have free license, I repeat again, even though if you have free license, you will get a free account. See here, you will get a free account. You can actually use it, no worries. Okay, so we will be teaching you how to get this particular account as well. We will be also helping you in a very detailed aspect as well. But right now, what I was actually trying to show is, number one, you have Power BI desktop, you have Power BI service. Power BI service is something like this. This is Power BI service. And last but not the least, you also have something called as Power BI mobile apps. So Power BI can be also accessed using mobile as well. You can access those dashboards from mobile as well. Normally, when you are building strategic dashboards and all, you don't know where is your CXO. He might be in Greece, he might be in Athens, he might be in France, he might be in US. You don't know. Someone is not on mute. Someone is not on mute. Okay, so we don't know. So for that particular thing, dashboards building on a mobile applications can be really handy and helpful, wherein they can actually access the dashboard and understand what is going in their organization on a day-to-day basis. Hope you're able to get it. So if you are using mobile, iPhone, iOS, Android, it doesn't care. We don't care. Okay, so for example, Play Store, if you are using Play Store, PLA Store, Play Store, ST or Play Store. Let's assume if you are using Play Store, okay, and you can say Power BI. Okay, I'm just showing for Play Store because it can be easily accessed. Okay, see here, you can actually install Power BI and use Power BI for your business. So even it is available for iOS as well, no worries. Okay, see, it doesn't require even special setups or something like that. But if you want to use, I repeat again, if you want to use Power BI in Apple systems, there are certain, what I can say, hiccups that you might come up. Okay. So if your client is saying, hey, I'm using Mac or something like that, then, there are something called as VirtualBox or, Sandbox that are required to create a small environment inside your Mac computer where you can run Power BI and Microsoft applications. Okay, because Microsoft is a this thing, right? What I can say, a different entity, and they are competitors, right? So they don't allow Power BI to run in their system. So they have a backgate, okay, to run these system. I mean, to run these softwares. So you have these options to use it. So majorly, you have one, you have two, and along with that, you also have something called as three major major products that are going to be used. Adding to that, there is also something called as gateway. GATEWAY, gateway Power BI. So there are two types of gateway. One is called as personal mode. Second is called as on-premises mode. Okay, that can be used. Just give me a minute. So something like this. So this gateway is one specific tool which will sit in your system and it will try to refresh the data on a time-to-time basis. For example, let's assume you are having the data coming from SQL Server. Let's assume. Okay. So what this Power BI gateway will do is it will try to fetch, okay, the previous data and current data and refresh the data accordingly. For once in a day, you want to refresh the data at exactly 12 o'clock noon. So then there will be a trigger that will get generated and the gateway will do the refresh, facilitate the dashboard refresh and this thing, what I can say, provide you the updated information. So for that particular thing, we have this gateway. No worries, we will be using all these one. Okay, we will be installing Power BI gateways. We will be installing Power BI desktop. We will be having Power BI services. I'm just giving you a high level bird eye view. What are the various technologies that we are going to learn in this particular tutorial? Okay. So there is also something called as Power BI gateway that we will be discussing after something like 4 or 5 sessions. Okay. And this is the task is normally used to refresh the data. Clear and clear? Clear and clear? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions on these three things? On these three things: Power BI desktop, Power BI service, Power BI mobile applications, and gateway. Are you clear on these part? Yes or no? If you are not clear, feel free to let me know. I'm there to help you out. Okay. Any questions? I'm there to help you out. So Rahul Sharma is saying no, Rathod is saying no, Goyal C is saying no, Rahul Sharma is saying no, Khiman Das is saying no. How about others? How about others? How about others? Vijay, Akshay. Okay, Akshay. How about others? Okay, wonderful. I got some significant response. So these are some of the, what I can say, applications that we will be discussing in this thing. Apart from this, there are also some of the, this thing, what I can say, applications like Paginated Report Builder. Okay, that's one of the application wherein you can actually create report. Like, I don't know whether you are from, there is something like, just let me give me a minute. Okay. Paginated Report Builder, Power BI, Paginated Report Power BI. So I think you might be I think you may have seen something like this. Okay, something like this. So which might be in your annual reports or something like that, right? Okay, there will be some this thing, there will be some information right here. Okay, or else something like, oh, these are dashboards, right? Something like this, something like this. Okay, so these are actually called as paginated reports, and there is something called as paginated report builders. That's a different applications which will actually get involved in this. But whenever we use Power BI Pro or Power BI Premium, okay, this specific thing can be used by high-end licenses, not on low-end licenses, not on free version or pro version, you cannot access this. These are a bit expensive. Extremely sorry. So these are a bit expensive, and these also cost a bit of extra amount. Okay, that is something. So majorly for our this thing, we will be using Power BI desktop, Power BI service, and Power BI mobile applications. So these are the main things that we will be covering. And adding to that, when we speak about paginated report builders or Power BI report server as well, so these require dedicated SQL servers. Like they require something called a SQL Server Analysis Studio, and they also require SQL Server reporting servers as well. So when only you have these two things, then only you will be able to use those applications. You cannot build any kind of dashboards or any kind of this thing using SQL servers or something like that. Okay, so you need dedicated report servers. So then only you will be able to access these kind of things. Okay, hope you are clear on this particular. These are the basic products which are actually available when you actually buy a Power BI license. Okay, clear and clear. Clear and clear. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm there to help you out. Any questions, guys? I got only one response. Okay, how to work Power BI mobile apps? That's a good question. That's a good question, by the way. Let me open. Okay. Okay, so I hope you will be able to see my screen. Power BI desktop haven't got opened. Okay, wonderful. Now the Power BI desktop has been opened. Okay, so this is my Power BI desktop. I don't want to discuss all the aspects of Power BI, but I will quickly jump into something called as view. Okay, because Rathod's question is hidden here. You have something called as mobile layout. You have something called as mobile layout. I can just click on this. Okay, see here. Now I have mobile layout. I can scroll like how I scroll on my mobile, right? I can actually scroll this here. Something like this I will be able to see. So the layout is same. Okay, the process of building is the layout is different. The process of building the dashboard is same. You are going to build the dashboard how you build the regular dashboard. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Rathod. Clear and clear? Clear and clear, Rathod. Okay, that's wonderful. So you build the dashboard, then you publish the dashboard into Power BI service. From Power BI service, you will be able to access that from your mobile as well. So this is the whole architecture. So to provide you a better clarity on the architecture, let me open the architecture itself. Okay, how all of the products, I showed you Power BI desktop, I showed you Power BI gateway, I showed you Power BI mobile applications and all these things, how they are going to help you to build a dashboard and consume the dashboard. So now let me explain this specific information in a very detailed aspect. Okay, in a very detailed aspect. Okay, so now let me open my what I guess annotation. Okay, wonderful. So you have two methods. Number one is let's assume you have a data source, like the data might be coming from SQL Server, SharePoint, Salesforce, Azure, okay, or Hadoop, big data, anything. Okay, so this data will get imported to Power BI service, or else you can directly plug this data into Power BI desktop as well. I don't know why I actually closed my Power BI this thing. Okay, let me open my Power BI desktop again. Power BI desktop. Okay, so what really happens is you can load the data into Power BI desktop, or else you can load the data from Power BI applications as well. So here in Power BI services, you have data sets. See here. Okay, so here in data set, you have an option to load the data sets from here as well. So you can get the data. I think it's getting late, huh? So you can get the data, like you can store the data, something like this. Okay, so you can say my data, okay, which are the my data and everything. You can change the data source, you can do various types of settings and all these things. So one of the option is to get the data in Power BI, this thing, what I can say, data sets, and from there you can plug into Power BI, this thing. So here in Power BI, you have something called as Power BI data sets. Can you see that? You can get the data set from here as well. Or else what we can also do is, okay, we can directly plug the data here as well. Okay, so there are multiple approaches. So that's the reason here in the visualization, you have one of the option, you can get the data to Power BI services, or else you can get the data to Power BI desktop. Then what you will do is you will do the analysis, like you will create the dashboard here. You will create the dashboard here. Then after creating the dashboard, then what you will do is here you have something called as publish. Can you see that? Publish. You're going to click on this particular thing. Then you are going to publish that particular dashboard into something called as, just give me a minute, into something called as Power BI service. Okay. In that service, you can do various things. Like, one of the option is gateway refresh. You want to refresh the data, or else you can, in that service, you can just push that particular this thing to other people. Like people can actually access those dashboard from their mobile, tablets, or desktop. Okay, anything can be possible. So these are the various methods how the dashboard is going to be built in a very simple way. Step one, you plug the data, you build the dashboard. Okay, after building the dashboard, you will publish the dashboard. After publishing the dashboard, you will set the data gateway refresh. After setting the data refresh, so the data will get refreshed and you will be able to access that same dashboard from Power BI service or Power BI mobile applications. Hope you are clear on this particular part. I have two questions, I assume so. If we prepare dashboard in desktop, and then can we access same in mobile? It depends on licensor. This is a very technical question. I don't want to answer it right now. Okay. I will explain this when I speak about the 3 licenses which are actually available for Power BI. Okay, then I will be providing you the clarity. Sanjay. Okay, please repeat. Just missed. Ashwini, can you help? Which specific part you have missed so that I can repeat?
Now I got. No problem.
You got it? No worries. No worries. So this is the major architecture, what you are going to follow when you are building the dashboard. Okay. So as I have opened Power BI desktop, let me basically run through what is Power BI desktop and what are the various look and feel that you are actually having with Power BI desktop. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Only one response. Only 1% out of 11 people are ready. Only 4 response. Only 4 response. Only 4 response. How about others? How about others? How about others? Only six response. Only 6 response. Only 6 response. 7 response. Huh? How about others? 8 response. How about others? How about others? Guys, we can learn any technology if we are going to be interactive. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying we have to be interactive, there is a very hardcore sense. Power BI can look really beautiful and really easy, but when you try to do it right, okay, there might be some bottlenecks that you are going to come up with. So that's the reason I request, I beg to be interactive. There is a huge difference between right click, left click, and double click in Power BI. Okay, and these are the only 3 operations that are going to be used in Power BI. Yet sometimes as a beginner, it can be really tedious and hectic. So that's the reason the initial part, you have to be really interactive to learn the software really good. I want to request this again and again. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. Okay. So now This is Power BI desktop. So can you see here? This is something empty. So which basically mean if I'm able to enter my email ID, if I'm going to say yes, and if I'm able to log in, I will be able to see my name here. Okay. And adding to that, Power BI is a Microsoft tool. Power BI is a Microsoft tool. That is the reason the look and feel of Power BI is very, very similar to Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel. You can see cut, copy, paste. Can you see here? Cut, copy, paste, formatting, which are very, very common in Power BI softwares like Word, Excel, and all these things. Similarly, you will be also able to see something called as home, insert, modeling, view, help, external tools as well, isn't it? So even that is also very, very similar. For example, if I open Power BI, this particular PowerPoint, I also have home, insert, draw, design, transition, animation. So the look and feel of the dashboard is very, very same. The upper part. Okay. Adding to that, you have something called as these collapse buttons. These collapse buttons can be opened. These collapse buttons can be opened or closed as per your comfortability. Okay. So here is your data. So if you load a data into Power BI, so this data will be right here. And adding to that, you also have something called as visualization. So for example, if you want to create a line bar chart, so you have an option to create this line bar chart here. Adding to that, if you want to put any kind of if you want to put any kind of filters, you also have filter options right here as well. You can apply some filters as well. Adding to that, this is called as report view. This is called as data table. This is called as data model. So there are 3 different views. I can click on this report. Okay, I will be able to see this particular information. If I'm going to click on this table, I will be also able to see this particular information. Similarly, if I'm going to click on this information, I will be also able to see this particular information. So what is this information? So if I'm going to see this data table, I will be able to see the data table information like relational column, like Excel sheet. And here, if I'm going to see about model, so this is all about modeling or creating relationship between one table to another table. Okay. So if you know schema, okay, something very similar will actually happen. Something like this. See here, how one table will be related to another table. So that particular thing will be in this particular area. So I will do what I will do is I will quickly load a data. I will say an Excel. I don't know which specific data I have. I have something called as personal dashboard. No, I don't want to use this Gulati. I don't want to use Gulati's information. I want to use something. Let me see. I think I have some backend data. Okay. Yes, Power BI 360 training data set. So let's assume I have one data. Okay. So I don't worry, I will be teaching how I'm going to load this data and everything, how I'm going to import this data. So I have some navigators. I'm just going to click on this data here. See here I have a glimpse of the data. It's not the complete data set. It's just a glimpse of the data. I have only 23 rows and all the columns, okay, which are available here. I can say load. The data will get loaded into Power BI. This is so easy. Okay. It's so easy that you just need to click. There is no coding which is actually required to do to load Power BI data files. Okay. And similarly, right now, if you see here, there is a new table which is called as order table, which got imported into Power BI, inside Power BI. And if I'm going to open this, I am able to see all the columns which are actually available. I have something called as category, city. Okay. I have country and all this information. I have also some numerical information. How I'm saying this as numerical information? Because it is having the summation sign. Can you see that? It is having summation sign. So this is how I can say this is a numerical column. And similarly, you have a tiny calendar. So this tiny calendar, say it is a date format. So what I will do is, this is in a long table. I mean, I'm not able to see the data, what are the values and everything. So for that particular thing, what I will do is I will just go to just go to something called as Power BI data table. So this is called as data table. As soon as I click on data table, I will be able to see a relational table like this. It will get loaded. It will get loaded. So see here, I'll be able to see all the columns which are actually available here. Adding to that, I have the total number of rows which are actually available here. There are 9,994 rows in this data set, and I can see all of them. When I was loading the data, I was able to see only 23 rows, but now I'm able to see all the rows which are actually available here. Can you see that? See here, these are the row. What I'm saying. So adding to that, if you are actually having plan to create relationship between one table to another table, okay, so this relationship can be built here. Okay, like you have order table, you have sales table, you can combine, you can create something called as cardinality in Power BI. Okay, so you can create those cardinality in this specific area. We will be discussing this, we will be doing live projects on this particular thing, but I just want to make you familiar with the technology, what you are learning. Okay, hope you are able to get it. So this is the basic look and feel of the what I can say Power BI dashboard, and this is the area where you are going to build the dashboard. What I mean is this dotted line. Can you see that? This dotted line is your compound. For example, compound. So for example, if you want to construct your home, you will build your house inside a compound, right? Inside your fenced nest, net, right? Similarly, okay, you can only build a, what I can say, dashboard inside this dotted lines. Okay, then you might be scratching your head. Hey, Sangmesh, this small or this so much big? I don't want, I have only 3 visualization. For only these 3 visualizations, such a big space. I don't want such a big space. Can I reduce the area? Yes, you can do that. You have an option called as format your report page. Okay, here you have something called as canvas settings. Here you can basically play around with the size as well. Like I want this size width to be something like 750. Or else, no, I want to increase the width. I will call this 1,500. Oh, sorry. 1,400. And height, let me make it as 1,000. I can increase the size. Everything is doable. For example, if I have one visualization, if I'm going to create a line visualization, I just go here. I will just click on this visualization. Now I have this visualization inside this dotted line. I cannot take this visualization outside this dotted line. Can you see that? I cannot take this outside the dotted line. Okay, I can resize this. See here, I can resize this. Okay, I'm just using my mouse. I'm just using my clicks. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. Okay, and I can resize it out here, and adding to that, I can move this anywhere from here to here. And interestingly, I can also control all of this visualization from my control panel as well. So there are multiple options where I can actually use this dashboard. So this tiny bit of piece is called as tile. Okay, so this is a very small understanding about Power BI and the Power BI desktop. Okay, so do you have any questions on this? 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 Yes. Yes, Vijay. Yes.
Yeah, Sanjay here.
Yes.
Actually, for this, do we need to have a license for it, or we can also do on a free version? Trial version is also available.
So, as I have discussed with the PO, we are going to make you a pro in Power BI, which basically means we will involve you to all the levels. Like you will be involved to Power BI free license, Power BI Pro license, and Power BI Premium license as well. And all of them will take your PAN card details and credit card or debit card details, and you can have it free. Okay. Or else if your organization is ready to shell out money, you can get a premium license or a premium trial version as well. So what I was actually planning is, I was planning to get individual license for all of them. Okay, individual Power BI license for all of them, so that they can use, practice on their own. Or else if you are ready to provide official license for all of them, that is a trial version, you can also do that.
What is you have the understanding gone? What, because suppose you are going to train us on the future times, like whatever you are talking about, these BI tools and other things. If we don't have the basic infrastructure with us, we may not be able to practice them. So it should not happen that we are running behind and you are running ahead here in the schedule in absence of the required infrastructure.
Sure. We will actually do what I can say.
Petri is here. Probably we can ask her also. See,
Sure.
when he's training us, we get all these normal Excel sheets right now with us in our systems, which is being uploaded. Now, therefore, the BI tools, there are 30 days free trial option is there, which probably can be uploaded. Then there are the licenses, which we have obtained from the Microsoft, and accordingly, those has to be uploaded into the systems. So what he's proposing is, as a trainer, that he will tell us about the basic Excel. Then there is some premium or professional and a couple of type of BI tools, and he will take us through all of them. Then I was asking what is our understanding with him, because it should not happen he's teaching us, but we don't have that basic Excel with us to practice it. So here we will just simply see it, but we will not be able to use it at that point of time till we get those kind of Excel sheets with us. So that is something that to be.
So it is completely up to your, the decision is
Hold
you.
on, please, hold on, please. We are checking with Matthew.
We have free license and free location, but everyone can use the free version. 30 days free version is available.
So that we
You have to go on just.
No, I understand that.
Going forward, how to do it,
what
we
he
talk separately with
what he's talking about is that there is a basic free version, then there is a pro version, and there is a premium version.
Okay.
So in our course, he is going to cover all three of them. So till the time we are in a basic version, probably we will be able to use this free downloaded version.
2 days, Santosh can make that.
So that I will talk to the IT
So,
person. We'll
that we have to understand. That's it. Fine. We will resolve it.
If you have any questions or concern on licensing part or something like that, we can actually work on that. I mean, you have to priorly say me, okay, hey Sangesh, I'm giving a premium license for all of my teammates, then it is going to work out. And this session today, I will give you the entire information about the licensing part. Okay, after this session, when we end our session at 5 o'clock, you will be in such a situation that what specific license is required for what specific business issue. Okay, so then only I will also help you. If you want to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us with Sirisha. She will be able to help you out with the licensing part. If you want to get trial license for the entire organization, you can also do that. Or else if you say that, hey Sangesh, I let the employees pay from their individual license itself, I will also help them how to get individual licenses as well. So even that will also work for the, if they are going for individual license, they need their PAN card details and they need their debit card or credit card. So these are the two information that are required. And if it is for what I can say organization, then I hope you know about it. Or if you have any difficulty getting it, I can also do that. So it's very simple. I will just go to my Power BI service.
Curious what it costs for a one license. Do we need to pay one time or do we need to pay annually, and how much is the amount? Approximate, not exactly.
Sir, this is going to be a trial version. Currently, hope you are able to see that I used a 90-day trial.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have been teaching Power BI from last how many months? Nearly 1 year or more than 1 year. Okay, I started corporate training since January 2021. Okay, it's over 1 year. Okay, and I'm using only Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium license. Okay, that to trial version. Okay, I use this. I will end my trial. Okay, and whenever there is a requirement, I will go for another license, something like that. This is how I am actually working.
Okay.
Okay, so what I say is go for a trial license. Why you want to shell out your money? Okay, so if you want to buy it, then there are two licenses which are actually popular for individuals. One is called as Power BI Pro. Second is called as Power BI Premium. After this session, I mean, after completing this specific Power BI desktop, I will move to Power BI licenses. I will show you what are the various licenses which are actually available with Power BI, and I will also guide you with all these things. Okay.
Okay.
So we are not in a hurry. We don't need a license as of now. We don't need a license. We will need a license something like 3 or 4 sessions afterwards. Okay. So next session will be on data preparation using Power Query. After that, we will learn DAX. Then we will do visualization. After doing all the visualization and everything, then we will understand Power BI Premium. I mean, Power BI services. Till then, we won't touch. For next 3 to 4 sessions. Okay. We won't touch Power BI service. Okay, hope you are clean and clear on this particular part.
Yeah. Sanjay here. Now coming to our
Yes, Sanjay.
data uploading. Can you please once again repeat how you have captured this Excel file into this Power BI?
I'm extremely sorry, guys. I'm not able to hear you. If anyone is able to translate that, it would be really great. It would be really great.
Yeah, what I'm saying, can you please repeat how you have uploaded this Excel file from your desktop to Power BI?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. No worries. I will do that.
I'm asking actually. See, in our Excel files, we have multiple rows hidden, columns were hidden, even some times sheets were hidden, or maybe multiple sheets were there. So how Power BI is behaving and how Power BI is reading those sheets?
That is actually a good question, being very frank with you. So Power BI also come with something called as Power BI Power Query transformation. So this is one such area where you can actually prepare the data and everything. So we won't speak all of them right now, but I will just do a basic thing. I will just remove this Power BI. I'm just going to click on these 3 dots, which is available here. Okay, I'm just going to click on this. Then I'm going to go for delete from model. I'm just going to click on this, delete from model. Okay, it is going to give me a prompt. I'm just going to say yes. Okay, as soon as I say yes, okay, this table will get vanished. Okay, so now I don't have this table. And interestingly, I will be using this word again and again. Okay, same destination, but different routes. What is meant by same destination, different routes? There are multiple ways to load the data. Okay, so you have an Excel workbook. For example, if you want to load an Excel workbook, you have an option called as Excel workbook right here. You have an Excel workbook right here. You can also have something called as get data right here as well. You can click on here. You can say Excel workbook, or else you can click on here. You can say Excel workbook. You can click on here. You can say Excel workbook, or else you can click on get data here as well. And when I'm going to click on this, there will be a new pop-up window that will appear, which will be called as navigator, Okay, now I have clicked it. Okay, it is going to open. Okay, now I have something called as navigator. Okay, here I have various types of files. Can you see that? I have various types of files, database, Power Platform, Azure Platform, online services, and all these things. So here, what I can do is I can click on, files. I can click on files. Okay, and I can choose Excel file. Okay, and I can say connect. I will do it again. I can either click on here, either click on here, either click on here, or either click on here. Okay. Okay, there will be something called as, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, in between, the network, there might be some problem in the network. Can you please repeat it once again?
Sure, sir. No worries.
Yeah, actually some problem in the.
No worries, Sanjay. I'm there to help you out. Okay. So there are multiple routes for the same destination, which I mean that you have multiple ways to load the data into Power BI, which basically mean you can load the data, Excel data from here. You can load the Excel data from here as well. You can click on here, you can get the Excel data, or else you can click on here on get the Excel data. As soon as you say, I want to get the Excel data, let's assume I will take this particular thing. Okay. So there will be a pop-up that will appear. okay, which will ask me to choose the Excel file. As soon as I choose and say okay, as soon as I choose and say okay, there is a navigator which will actually pop up. There will be a navigator that will actually get pop up. Okay, so right now, okay, this Excel file, I will show you, I will open that Excel file so that you are able to understand it. I will say D. I will say Power BI. I will say dataset. So here I have CSV file. If you see this particular thing, I have one CSV which is called as 2017. I have one worksheet, Excel worksheet, which is called as 2018. I have something called as people, which is called as CSV, okay, which is in a CSV format. Let me open this particular Excel so that you will be able to understand. It is getting opened on my different screen. Just give me a minute. Let me bring it out here right now. So I'm just going to take this particular sheet out here. You'll be able to see that this Excel is having only one specific this thing, what I can say, page called as order page. You can load this. For example, let's assume you don't have one, first row is blank or something like that. So all these things can be handled using Power Query. I will be teaching Power Query in our next session, tomorrow's session. We will have a dedicated session where we will do various types of transformation on this data. Okay, but meanwhile, okay, so let's assume you have another sheet called as, I will call this as blank, like sales. I don't know. I will say, hi, hello, bye, something like this. Okay, and I'm going to save this. I will say save. Okay, so now what I will do is I will refresh this data. See here, I will refresh this data. So now I have order and now I have something called as sales. Can you see that? So if I'm going to click here, okay, I will be able to see the column called as hi, hello, bye. Similarly, if I'm going to click here, I will be able to see all the sample rows, and sample columns, all the columns and very limited rows, only 23 rows. To load, I have to click load, but I have to click it prior. So if I'm going to click on this, there will be something called as load that will appear. If I don't click on this, okay, the load function will not appear. Similarly, sales as well. See here. So let's assume, hey, Sangmesh, I want to load multiple sheets. Is it possible in Power BI? Yes, it is possible in Power BI. How we can do? We can click on multiple sheets, something like this, and then we can say load. So now there won't be one sheet, but there will be two sheets. One will be called as order and one will be called as sales, and sales will be having some random columns or random rows called as hi, hello, bye, something like that. So let me show you. Okay, it has something called as column 1. Okay, and similarly you have this particular information which is going to be the Excel files. Hope you're able to get it. Now what I can do is I can just go here, okay, and see that I have loaded hi, hello, and here I'm able to see I have also loaded all the data. Hope you're clear on this particular part, Sanjay. Any questions here? Any questions? Over to you, Sanjay.
Till now,
We will be
Sanjay,
using. Yes, Sanjay.
yeah, it's clear. Till now, it is clear.
Okay, Sanjay, that's wonderful. So now let's go to the important part. Now we will try to download Power BI for us. Okay, so right now, if you see, I think there are a couple of people who have Power BI in their desktop as well. So if they are able to see this particular thing, there is something called as update available. Click here to download, which basically mean there is a new version of Power BI which is out in the market, but you are using the older version of Power BI. Okay, I didn't intentionally upgrade my Power BI. The reason was there are some of the things that need to be taught for you guys. So I have not uploaded it. Okay. So what I will do is we will learn how to install. Adding to that, we will also try to understand how to upgrade. If you have an older version of Power BI, how to upgrade that. Okay. We will also learn that. So now you might be scratching your head and saying, oh my God, how do I find that I have an older version of Power BI? Which version of Power BI I'm using? You don't know. To identify which version of Power BI you are using, you have to go to something called as files. Can you see here? Can you see here? At your extreme right hand corner, left hand corner, files. So in this files, there is something called as about at the bottom. Can you see that? About. You can click on this about. Okay. Here you are able to see that I am using the April version, April 2022. Okay, and the version what I'm using is 2.104.702.0. Can you see that? So this is the version I'm using. And similarly, this is my session ID. This is my user ID. Okay, so I can actually copy this and I can actually share this. So for example, this can be really handy for people who are working in organizations. So people may call, hey sir, my Power BI is having problem. My Power BI is having problem. You don't know what is wrong with that. Then you can say, hey, share your details. So if your manager is going to ask, share your details, this is a screenshot that you have to share, or else you have to copy this information and share it to your manager so that he can talk to Power BI team and they can fix your Power BI issue, something like that, if you are actually having it. Okay, so this is how you are going to see. And can I get a confirmation which specific version you are using? Okay, whether it is the April version, whether it is March version, or which specific version you are using, can you ping me on the chat? Can you ping me on the chat? You can open your Power BI. You can open your Power BI. People who don't have Power BI on their system, who don't have Power BI on their system, please go to Power BI, Google, and say Power BI download. Oh, so why is this spelling download? Okay, Power BI download. There is only one link for it. Okay, that is https://powerbi.microsoft.com en-EU-US downloads. So this is the only link which is available. You just need to click on this. You just need to click on this. Okay, and then there are various Power BI downloads which are actually available. You have Power BI desktop, you have Power BI mobile apps, you have Power BI on-premises gateway, you have on-premises gateway Power BI report server, you have on-premises Power BI report builder as well. So this and this requires very premium license. Okay, so but this is absolutely free. You can just say download. Yes, Rajesh, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay, that's absolutely fine. You can say downloads, that there will be a Play Store that will open, or else you can go for Microsoft Store. Extremely bad. Okay, your Microsoft Store will actually open. You can download from there, or else you can click on advanced download option. You can click on advanced download option. And say download here. Okay, so when you say download, there are two prompts which are actually going to come up. One is called as Power BI desktop setup, and second is called as Power BI setup 64-bit. And I know 90% of the people out in market are using 64-bit itself. Okay, and click on 64-bit and say next. Okay, that's it. So there will be a thank you note. Okay, and there will be a what I can say, downloading that will actually happen here. Okay, so meanwhile, I was saying, repeat these steps, please. Okay, no worries. Rajesh, can you help me with specific step? I will be able to help you out.
Yeah, you are mentioning this. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible 100%.
Yeah. these steps, sir, like how to download Microsoft Power BI. Please do repeat on this.
Okay, you want to? Yeah, sure. Okay. Meanwhile, for a quicker response, what I will do is I will paste this thing on the chat as well. People who don't have Power BI, okay, they can just click on this download link. They can download. Meanwhile, what I'm actually saying is you have to go to Power BI desktop. Please make sure this. Oh, sorry, Power BI download on Google. Okay, and here there is a link that will start https, okay, powerbi.microsoft.com enus power downloads. Okay, so the first link that you have to click, so here you have various applications. So you have Power BI desktop, you have Power BI mobiles, on-premises gateway, and all these things. So out of which there are two options. One is called as download option, one is called as advanced option. If you say download, it will take you to Power BI, sorry, Microsoft Store. If you say advanced, it will help you to get the exe file or else executive file. I mean, executable file. Okay. So here you are in my.
Sorry to interrupt you in between, but I don't think any of us would be allowed because of the IT controls built in our systems. So those are not allowing us to download any of this external software.
So we'll call our IT guy.
You
and,
have to speak to me.
Yeah. We'll call our
So
IT
that's
guy.
why probably everybody is facing this challenge. We have to, our only administrator will give us a right to download this kind of a software. It is not a personal computer.
Sure, sir.
No, actually, after clicking on this link, the automatically download will going.
But when we are reaching at the last stage, at that time it is saying that you don't have the rights to download.
Yeah, administrative password is required.
Not right to install actually.
You have to speak to your IT team. I'm not the right candidate.
You can continue.
Okay. So I'm just giving you a small idea here how to download it. So so this is it. By the way, I know many people are using Power BI, but no one had actually disclosed the version what they are using. So the version what you are using is going to help me a lot, to help you out a lot. I mean, help you out pinpoint with specific issues, that because there are two types of panels that are going to be available. One is this specific panel, and second panel is, I will show you, just give me a minute. Options, it is okay, that's absolutely fine. Preview features, visual tooltip, okay, that's absolutely fine. New format pan. Let me say okay. Yes, I will say okay. I will close this Power BI. I will say don't save. Okay, so this is the first panel that I showed you. Second panel of Power BI will actually look something like this. So there are two versions of Power BI, older version panel and second new panel. So the one what I was actually showing you was the latest panel. So people who have Power BI for a very long time, that is something like 6 months, 7 months back or something like that, they tend to have these type of issue. So the look and feel, okay, may look something like this. So to resize it, previously I went to something called as canvas, but here I have to go to something called as page size. Previously I went for something called as canvas. Okay, now I'm going to for page size. Here I'm doing the, okay, see here, height, okay, I see 1500, width 1200. So the look and feel of the dashboard, previously it was on top, now it is at the bottom. So these type of visual changes are actually available. So people who are beginners, they can find really good difficulty, because these panels can be confusing. That's the reason I'm requesting every single person who is having Power BI, please help me out with a version so that I can actually guide you better. So how do you find the latest version? You click on files, you will say about, okay, and there will be a pop-up that will appear, and you just need to copy the specific thing, okay, like this, and you just go to chat and paste that particular thing out on the chat. People who have Power BI on their system, they can do that. People who don't have Power BI, no worries. Okay, your IT team will actually help you to get Power BI onto your system.
Yeah, Sangesh, sorry to interrupt. Just now I called my IT guy. He's just checking the
Okay.
Vijay's laptop because he's having license version. He's just checking which license he's having.
Sir, premium license is fine, but not right now. A free license is absolutely fine as of now. Okay, we can upgrade after something like 4 sessions. Okay, I will help you on that. So right now, free license is absolutely fine. So if you want, I can also help your IT guy. It's not a big headache. Okay, to get Power BI license, you have to go to apps.powerbi, something like this. Okay, apps.powerbi, something like this. Okay, and after that, there is something called as admin control panel. There you have to, okay, let me say this one. Oh my God, it is going to ask me authentication. I don't have my mobile right now. So there is an option, admin control, wherein we can actually create users and all these things. Okay, we can get in touch after the session. Okay.
Okay, no issues.
Okay, so that is it. And what I was actually saying is, here I have downloaded my setup file. So what I have to do, for example, if I want to upgrade, so because if you see here, okay, I have an option called as update available. So I can click on this this particular link. There will be a new pop-up that will appear. Okay, so which will say what is the April updates which are actually available. Okay, so on April 14th there was another update. Okay, can you see? So what are the different types of updates which actually happened in this thing? So in mQuery there was something called as dynamic parameter which was being involved. Okay, in data connectivity there are 3 different data connectivities that are being involved. In Power BI services, okay, there is something called as goals updates which are being provided. In mobile applications, these are the 2 different changes which had been made. In visualization, there is new visualization called as app source. Drill down series pro for zoom charts are also being provided, and Nova power Gantt chart are also being provided here. Okay, so these are the updates that are actually available. You can click on this particular information, Power BI desktop. Okay, you can just click on this. There will be it will take to this particular place. You can say download. It will do the same process what you have done. Okay, it will do the same process. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, you can just say, okay, something like this. You can say download. Okay, the same option, how you will install the Power BI. Okay, so I have the file here, so that's the reason I'm just leaving this particular part. So here you will be able to see all the, just a minute, where it went. Okay, just give me a minute. So if you click on this, you will be able to see what are the updates which actually happened. So this update happened on 14th of April. Okay, if you go a little bit down, okay, if you go a little bit down, they have well documentation, what are the changes they have made. Okay, so this is parameter, just give me a minute. Gantt chart and all these things. Okay, that's wonderful. So if you go a little bit up, okay, there are also some timelines. In May 2022, that is this particular month, what are the updates that are available? In April 2022, what are the different updates which are actually available? And in March, what are the different updates which are actually available? All these are well documented. You can click on, for example, if I want to see March 1, what are the different changes which actually happened in March? I can click on March 2022. Here I'm able to see all the changes which actually happened in March. Can you see that? Can you see that? So these are the changes which actually happened in that particular month. Hope you are clear on that particular part. So now to install Power BI, okay, or to update Power BI on my system, what I have to just do is I just need to click on this. Okay, I just need to click on this. So as soon as I click on this, there will be a prompt that will come. Oh, I need to close this Power BI. Extremely sorry. Before installing this, I need to close my Power BI, or else the Power BI won't get installed properly. Okay. Okay, just give me a minute. I'll say don't save. So then there will be a pop-up that will appear. Now the pop-up had appeared. Okay. Yes. So see here, the desktop had actually opened. That's the reason there was an error. So I can say retry. I will say next. I will say yes. Okay. The same regular process I'm actually following, even to update my Power BI. So there is no security patch which will be available. The process is same. Okay, you have to download Power BI desktop and then you have to install it. So that is how you are going to update the version. Okay, so now it will take a bit of time to basically scan what are the which specific information, or which is the specific version I have, and all these things. So now it has started preparing to install. Now it has started checking all the files. there will be a pop-up something like this. Okay, computing the space requirement. Now it will check whether my system is having the right space or not. So here the RAM is required more than 8 GB, and adding to that, the system need to be over 7 Windows 7, and adding to that, it also require your system to be having good amount of space, which basically means you at least need to have something like 20 GB of space on your free space on your system to work better on Power BI. Even though if you have at least 1 GB space left out in your system, it will work smooth. I mean, the installation process will be smooth, but the operation with Power BI can be quite difficult things. So that's the reason have a ample amount of space in your desktop. So now it has assessed what are the requirements that I need to execute on this particular system. So then I have to say just next. I have to say accept, next. I have to say next. That's it. So now what it will do is it will try to first assess what are the files which are actually available in my. It will install the new files patches, and it will remove the previous patches. Okay, see here, validating installation. I have my Power BI in my system. I'm reinstalling my Power BI. See here, I'm reinstalling my Power BI. Okay. So now there is a this thing. So here I have my update. So see here, the setups file. Okay, our service cannot be updated while the system running. If you close the, okay, I will say okay. So Rajesh is not on mute. Yes, Rajesh, how can I help you? Do you have any question? Rajesh? Rajesh. Okay, now everything has been done. I have to say finish. That's it. Okay. I will be able to use the system, but it is always recommended as soon as you install your system, install Power BI on your system, try to restart your system once. Okay, as soon as you install your Power BI, there are some what I can say files which need to get executed. So for that, a regular restart is actually required. So that's the reason now I can go to Power BI and I can actually install that Power BI. But now what I'm actually interested is I want to show you what are the various licenses which are actually available with Power BI. Okay, so I hope everyone are clear on how to install Power BI on their system. Okay, if you are not clear, this recording will be provided to you. Okay, if you want to refer it later, you can also do that. Okay, meanwhile, if you have any other questions related to this, you can actually ask me any questions. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Any questions, Ashwini, Rathod, Sanjay, Rahul, Amit? Thank you very much. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I will show you what are the various different licenses which are actually available. Tomorrow, if your manager is going to come to you and he is going to say, hey, what type of license you want? You will be in such a situation now that, okay, just give a minute. Okay. So you will be in such a situation that you will be able to recommend them, hey, I want a Power BI Pro because it involves so and so activities, something like that. Or else you can say, hey, Power BI, okay, we are trying to install with the help of our IT team. Thank you, Sanjay. Thanks for informing me. If your team is facing any kind of issue installing, I'm there to help you out. Okay. So meanwhile, you can be attentive here. Okay. So there are majorly two types of license. Okay. One is called as a pro license. One is called as a premium license. Hope you are able to get it. So in pro license, you will be able to shell out something like $10, nearly $10. Okay. In premium license, you will be able to shell out something like $20. Okay. And someone had actually asked me, Sangamesh, if I'm going to have free Power BI license, will I be able to access Power BI dashboard on my mobile? So that answer is actually hidden in here. Okay. So if you see Power BI mobile access, that is only available with pro version and premium version. And along with that, there is also something called as premium per capacity. So we will be understanding this premium per capacity, which is very, very expensive. So it is something like 4,995. If you just convert this, it will be something like 350 to 4 lakh rupees. Okay, per month. Okay, USD to INR. Oh, okay, it will be something like 3 lakh 81,000, something like that. Okay, so this is a very quite an expensive license, but they have some of the advantages which these two licenses do not have. And for small organization, Power BI Pro and Power BI Premium will actually help them a lot. Okay, so what I was actually saying is, when you actually speak about Power BI mobile access, okay, you at least need Power BI Pro, at least need Power BI Pro. That is the first requirement for Power BI. Okay, and this cost $10, this cost $20, and this cost something like 3,80,000, 90,000 rupees per month. All of them are for per month. Hope you are able to get it. Adding to that, okay, so if you are thinking that I want to publish the dashboard, like I want to build the dashboard, I want to publish it, and next part of the dashboard will be built by my friend who is working in the organization. Like you have two employees. Employee number one will do data preparation, and employee number two will do data visualization stuff. If your organization is planning these kind of activities, then at least a Power BI Pro or a Power BI Premium is required. If you don't have that, you are not able to collaborate with each other. Hope you're able to get it. Along with that, I have showed you something called as paginated report. Like Power BI Premium will actually have something called as paginated reports. Right? To have paginated report, you at least need premium licenses. And along with paginated report, you also need report server as well to connect the data to a Power BI Premium and get Power BI reports. So this is also one of the requirement. Okay, if you are actually planning for Power BI paginated reports. Okay.
Sanmesh, just
Yes.
a small paginated report.
Yes. Yes.
What is paginated report?
Paginated report. Paginated reports are just remember paginated reports. So have you seen any annual report? Annual report, like you will get those Reliance annual report, TCS annual report, right? It will be in printed format. There will be having some table, something written out there, something like that. Okay, you can actually insert some tables like this. Okay, some tables like this, some visuals can also be put here, and some logos and some writing like this, okay, which can actually get incorporated. So something like this, or else something like this. So these are paginated reports, and this require a different this thing, what I can say, setup. okay, to run these things. Okay, hope you're able to get it.
Understood. Means apart from this data calculation and data presentation, we can add these logos and all some different tables. We can also put on top of that, right?
Reports, only reports. In only reports, this can be done. Okay, there is a huge difference between reports and dashboard that I will be teaching in our next sessions. Okay, but this is used for reports, only reports. Okay, not for dashboards. Okay.
So according to you, Sarmesh, I'm just asking you, according to you, which license will have to go initially? Like instead of free license, we'll have to go for first one, second one, which is having a plan.
Go for trial version. Go for trial version. It's the most safest. Go for the trial version. It is the most safest thing.
Okay.
Okay, and if you go for premium license, you will get most of the features, and it is really good. Okay, because if you go for premium license, you will be having row level securities as well. Your organization can also apply row level securities as well, and along with that, you can also have development, production, and testing environment. That is, the development pipeline can also be integrated into your system as well. So these are some of the options that you are having. There is also something called as diamond icon workspace, which is actually called in layman language. Even you will get that diamond icon premium capacity workspace as well, if you're using a premium license.
Sarmesh, why I'm asking you, because see, currently we are having 11 participants here, so we'll have to give a requirement to our IT guy also for future, like which version we'll have to go, whether for pro, whether for premium. So that's why I just want to check with you.
Sir, if you actually choose premium license, we will be able to cover all the chapters which are going to be taught in this particular session, sir. Okay, so if we are going to go for pro license, what will actually happen is there is something called as development pipeline, and there is also something called as RDL, row level security. For those two topics, you badly need Power BI premium license. You cannot do it on Power BI pro license. Hope you're able to get it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to be right transparent here. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, any other questions, guys? Okay, no, right? Okay, that's wonderful. So what I was actually saying is, okay, so what is meant by this paginated reports, and how these are going to be used, and along with that, there is also something called as consume content without a per user license, which basically means, so this is something called as per user license. Can you see that? Even this is also per user license. If you go on top, this is also per user license, which basically means for your organization, okay, if let's assume your organization tried to hire something like 20 Power BI developers, all those 20 Power BI developers will be paid $10 or $20 to have Power BI Pro or Power BI Premium license. Hope you're able to get it. And when you go for this per capacity, you are going to have no licenses. For example, if you are working in an organization, that Power BI license will be given as a complimentary thing for you, and you can use it. You can do various things. Okay, so here for this particular license, you don't have that particular thing. And along with that, here sharing and collaborating can be really tedious. I mean, not tedious exactly, very secured, I can say. Okay, because they also have incorporated something called as BIOK keys as well, and all these things. So all these things are actually having certain advantage and disadvantage as well. And adding to that, on-premises reporting with Power BI report server is possible only with this particular thing. Okay, if you are actually having premium per capacity, only in that case you will be able to use dedicated report server for your services and all these things. For a premium license, you need to get another report server, and then from another report server you have to plug in to Power BI, and you can do all these activities. But majorly what I have seen is very few organizations have used paginated reports. Most of the organization tend to use reports, normal reports, or else they tend to use dashboards or pinned dashboards. So these are the most popular options which are actually available. So I don't recommend to get a dedicated report server, because dedicated report servers are very, very expensive as well. Okay, because you need to have an SSIS, you need to have a SSAS, then you need to have a SSRS. So all these three things are actually involved. So I recommend for initial setup and all these things, Power BI, what we are covering in this particular topic, this is self-sufficient. This is sufficient for doing all these things. But this is something what I want to inform you, so that if you have plans future to get a dedicated report server, if you want to have a standalone SSIS, SSRS, and SSES, so in that case, these are something which can actually help you. Okay, hope you are clear on this particular part. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Okay.
Angamesh,
Yes.
what is this SSIS, SSES, SSRS, and why it is dedicated server, dedicated report server?
So there is something called as SSIS. SSIS means this is a part of MSBI. Okay. So this handle your ETL process, like extract, transform, load, all these three stages. Okay. So one point in time, okay, all the organization tend to use this SSIS. So MySQL, they have a different terminology, but Microsoft has a different terminology. So they have something called as MSBI. MSBI. So this MSBI contains all these things. What I was actually saying, Microsoft Business Intelligence. This Microsoft Business Intelligence contain SSIS, SSRS, and SSAS. Okay. So what is meant by SSIS? SSIS is a part wherein you are going to do that ETL activities. Okay. In SSAS, you are going to analyze. So you are going to create those cube structures in the database. You are going to store all your information in the cubes. That is called as SSAS. SSRS is a reporting server. Okay, so where you can run analytical servers, okay, and create reports in analytical servers. So this is all the parts of MSBI. So if you speak about MSBI, use for, okay, let me see, MSBI, SSIS, SSRS, and SSES, sorry. Okay, so if you say, so this contains all these things, SSAS, SSRS, and SSAS. So MSBI, these are the parts of MSBI. Hope you're able to get it.
Got it.
So these are useful for those organizations who have a really large amount of data, who have difficulty, retrieving the data whenever they want. Hope I answered your question.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how much is the capacity of that data storage?
Sorry, sir.
If we create such type of server, how much is the capacity? MS SQL stores 10 GB free space for database.
That actually depends on the license, but being very frank with you, organizations have been storing this information for a very this thing. So I have seen people storing 100 GB, people storing 150 GB, 1 TB. This is the amount of size that I have actually seen. They have also cloud storages as well. SQL Server Management Studio is available on server as well. Even in cloud also, you can develop and deploy all these SSIS models as well. you can create some scheduled triggers wherein the data will be fetched from a specific folder or a specific area, and they can update the data and on all those things. So all these process of store procedure, schema, okay, like all these things will be involved in that particular SSIS. Okay. So I don't want to discuss because this is not our scope of this tutorial. We are speaking on Power BI. So I just give you a small idea what is meant by SSIS, SSRS, and these MSBI stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So so adding to that, there are certain things that also need to be understood. Okay. So first of the most important thing is something called as model limit. So let me open one of my old Power BI dashboard, which I have created. Okay. So let me say I have a couple of Power BI desktop. I have something called as Ryan's project. Okay. So I can just click on this. Okay. I can say properties. Oh, sorry, properties. Okay. I can say properties. Here I have opened my properties. Okay. Which is saying 6 MB. Can you see that? It is saying 6 MB, which basically mean that the model size of this particular dashboard is 6 MB. So if you are using a Power BI, the model size will be something like 1 GB. 1 GB is the maximum amount of Power BI file that you can actually incorporate in your organization. For Pro license. Okay. Similarly, you can actually have till 100 GB if you are using premium license. You can also use something less 400 GB if you are using premium licenses for per capacity license. So this is also some of the information. So this is model size is all about the file size of the model. Okay, the file of the Power BI, what you are actually having. But being very frank with you, if the model size of the Power BI is going to reach nearly something like 600 or 800, 900 MB megabytes, okay, you will get performance issues that we have seen. So for that, I have never seen organizations who fine tune a lot. I've seen people, hey, if this is having problem, then we will jump to Power BI Premium. I think someone is not on mute. Extremely sorry to say. Please kindly go on mute. I think Rajesh, please go on mute. That will be taken care of. Okay, I have unmuted you. Okay. So that is something what I want to inform you. Okay. So adding to that, when you actually upgrade the plan, you will also have capacity in what I can say Power BI Premium. You also have something called as data flow. Okay. When you actually incorporate the data flow, we will be also understanding data flow within something like 5 or 10 minutes. So even that in data flow, you have an opportunity to reduce the model size and put the load less on the Power BI. So even those types of options are actually available in Power BI. Okay. So this is the main difference about model size. And adding to that, there is also something called as very, very important thing that is called as refresh rate, which basically mean how many times I can refresh the data in a day. Okay. So if I am going to use what I can say Pro license, I can refresh 8 times in a day. I can refresh the data 8 times in one day. Okay. If I'm going to use premium license, I will be able to refresh the data every 2 hours, which basically means every 2 hours I will be able to refresh. If I'm going to make it as total in one day, there will be 48 refresh. But if I'm going to see this particular license for every 2 hours, oh, extremely sorry. I'm extremely sorry. I put it in a wrong way. Okay. If you are going to use Power BI Pro license, you will be able to refresh the data 2 hours once. Okay. For the entire day. If you are going for premium license, for every 30 minutes, there will be one refresh, which basically means 48 divided by 24, which is just going to be 30 minutes. And similarly, the same thing. Okay. For every 2 hours, you will be having this thing 24 divided by 8, you will be getting that particular 2 hours. Okay. So this is which is actually available. And adding to that, okay, you have something called as Power BI Premium as well, which is also having 48 refresh. Okay. Here, normally people tend to ask me, Sangmesh, only 48 refresh, but every 30 minutes, one times it will refresh. Oh my God. Don't you feel that this is wrong? Then Power BI is useless. People tend to literally say me these kind of things. So people also have requested things like, hey, Sangmesh, let's assume I'm going to plug in stock market data, OHLC data. That OHLC data will come from stock market API, and I want to visualize it in Power BI. Is that possible? People have actually asked me these questions. So whenever people actually ask these questions, I say, yes, it is possible in Power BI, but you need a different setup called as push and streaming data is streaming data. push and streaming data services in Power BI. Okay, so if you have these kind of things, okay, like real-time streaming capability, okay, that is possible in Power BI, but it is quite an expensive thing for a normal small organizations. So it is computationally expensive, very expensive. It's not expensive, it's very expensive. Okay, so most of the organization, even though it is a really big organization, don't tend to go, or for individuals, it is a dream come true to use these kind of things. And Power BI REST APIs can be used here to do all these activities. Okay, so there is something called as PubNub. There is something called as PubNub. Okay, there is something called as where is this custom streaming data that I just told you, streaming data. And last but not the least, PubNub. This is PubNub. So there are actually 3 types of options: streaming data. Oh my God, it is not available. It is not showing. There is also something called as push data, push services. Okay, using this push data also, you will be able to see. I am not able to. I need to read the document in a very detailed aspect. There are 3. One is PubNub, one is called as push, and second is called as streaming data. So these 3 options you have, but computationally a little bit expensive. Only companies who are having dedicated servers, okay, who can manage these things, dedicated ABIs who can actually manage this, can actually do these kind of things. Okay, I'm just giving you a small idea here. And for model preparation and all, okay, for model preparation and all, you can see here, you can connect data for over 100 information, and along with that you can create visualization as per you can do embedding, API embedding. You can get the API, put it into Power BI, or get Power BI API to publish or show it to someone else. You can do that. AI based visualizations, there are certain AI based visualizations, like there are certain options where you can actually ask a question to Power BI. You can actually ask question to Power BI, like what is my sales last month or last year. The Power BI will provide you the specific information saying that, okay, this is the visualization, in that the last month sales was so and so, something like that. So if you want to ask them, hey, what is the relationship between my sales and profit, so it will provide you a relevant visualization which will say sales and profit. So even though, let's assume profit and revenue, these 2 are completely different. So revenue is also called as operational revenue, something like that. So instead of using revenue, if you have used operational revenue, you can also create those things, okay, in such a way that it will provide you this thing. So now all these natural language processing and all these capabilities are actually available in Power BI. So these are some of the nitty-gritty stuff which are actually available with Power BI. Not only question and answers, there is also something called as key influencer charts. There is something called as this thing, what I can say, influencer visualizations. So there are a couple of AI based visualizations, so which use artificial intelligence to help up with the visualization. And adding to that, there are also something called as advanced AI as well, which basically means you can do text mining, you can do image processing, you can do automate machine learning algorithms, but it is not available with Power BI Pro license. It is only available with Power BI Premium license per capacity, or whole capacity. Okay, and XMLA connectivity. So this is normally used by advanced developers like me. Okay, this is used for understanding the connectivity, understanding or altering the connectivity, managing the version control. For all these things, we use XMLA endpoint, so connectivity. So people who are well versed with SQL servers and all these things, they will be able to identify what is meant by XMLA endpoint. Okay, and one of the most important, one of the most revolutionary part of Power BI is this particular thing. This is called as data flows, and this is only available with Power BI Power BI Premium per capacity and whole capacity. So what it do is, let's assume you have a huge data. Let's assume you have something like 10 trillion rows of data, and you want to get it, you want to build a Power BI dashboard or something like that. To get all those 10 trillion TB or MB data, into Power BI, okay, it can be possible only using data flows. If you are going to get it into your system, okay, so let's assume your system is something like 1 TB and you are getting 90 GB, 900 GB of data into your system will get lots of problem. Computationally, it is very expensive for your system, inside your system. It can take, your system may hang, your system may get corrupted, or there might be various issues that you might be facing. So to handle all these things, Power BI has something called as Power BI data flow, which basically means you can basically prepare the data in cloud environment. Like if you want to clean one specific row or a column, you can clean that particular data in cloud. Okay, and from there you can get that data into a sample data. It won't take the entire 900 GB data. It will take a sample data into your Power BI. You can do the visualization, and after doing the visualization, you can again publish that file to Power BI, what I can say, server, and there the actual visualization will come. Okay, the entire visualization, something like this. So this is called as Power BI data flows, which can be used for big data. Hope you're clear on this particular part, guys. Hope you're clear on this particular part. This is very, very important for people who are using larger amount of data, like you can do direct query. So we will be explaining what is meant by direct query, linked computer entity, enhanced computer engines, and all these things in our further sessions, not right now. Okay, and data security and encryption, beautiful. Okay, what it basically means, Power BI has shared environment when you are using per capacity, which basically means, for example, my organization, okay, is out in Karnataka, and your organization might be in Maharashtra. Okay, so what will actually happen is my data and your data will be stored in one single drive itself, but it will be encrypted in such a way that none of my data will be shared to you and none of your data will be shared to me, even there is a bug or any such this thing. Okay, so this is the data security and privacy that Power BI is actually incorporating. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Okay, and there are also something like matrix creation, metric creation, composition, publishing, and all these things. So this is all about regular tasks that you are going to do. If you are not able to understand this, we will be applying all these things in our regular class as well. And this is something. And along with that, I was speaking about application lifecycle management. So the development pipeline, I was speaking about something called as production environment, testing environment, development environment. All this lifecycle management can be only available with Power BI Premium, not with Power BI Pro. So that's the reason, if you are getting Power BI Premium license, all these options can also be understood and you will be having a better knowledge on the same. Okay, so so it's all about the development life cycle. Okay, so for example, if you are building your dashboard and if something goes wrong, okay, the end user will not get affected. For example, you are developing the dashboard and you have the dashboard, and that bug will be transferred to testing environment where there will be proper testing which will actually happen. And okay, they will say, okay, this dashboard is not good. Okay, you have to change this bug or you have to rectify this bug, and there is that particular layer. But if you are using a Pro license, what will actually happen is you develop and you test. Okay, if the testing is not proper or something like that, okay, or else if you are not even putting that particular layer, you will directly publish that, and the user who is actually using that particular dashboard will say, oh my god, what is this issue? Yesterday it showed something like 1 lakh. Okay, now it is showing like 90 lakh. So the sales need to increase, but how come there is a fall or something like that? Though these kind of logical issues can be available. So for that particular reason, Power BI has these three environments. One is called as development environment, second is called as testing environment, third is called as production environment. And they have also provided this capacity as well, so that sometimes if you have a larger data or something like that, you can do that capacity management in these aspects as well. So this is application lifecycle management, how you build dashboard and develop dashboard and publish dashboard, all these things. And last but not the least, this is again used for what I can say, premium per capacity people itself, which basically means they have one advantage. Like let's assume the server is in Ukraine and currently Russia is bombing Ukraine like here and there. Okay, and your data will be safe. Okay, So your data will be kept in Japan, US, okay, even in India, okay, in such a way that it will be encrypted. And if there is a what I can say bombarding, or if there is some mishap, it is going to happen, like earthquake or these kind of things, okay, your data will be safe here and there. But if you are an Indian, and if you are using Microsoft Service Pro or Premium, the high probability is your data might be stored in Bangalore or Pune, or I heard that there is one data center which is actually getting developed in the Gurgaon sector in Delhi. I don't know whether they have done it or not, but in Pune and Bangalore, they have a dedicated centers, data centers. Okay. So your data will be stored any of these. For example, if Taliban is going to bomb Pune's this thing data center, then obviously all of your data will be jeopardized. Okay. Something like this. So for this, they have multi-geo deployment. And one of the major problem when you have a really big data is data center failures. Like, okay, when you are actually taking data from one system because of the internet issue or because of any other this thing, the data refresh may get failed, or data querying may get failed. Okay, there are multiple issues which actually happen when you have too much of load on the server. Okay, so all these things will actually get managed when you are actually using capacity, wherein if there is one failure, then there is another ready. Okay, within something like 30 minutes, everything will be rectified and you will be able to use. So the chance of failure, Microsoft actually claim it, I don't know whether it is true or not. They say that, okay, so within something like 1/10 of, so if you are having 10 issues, one issue will be solved within so and so time. Okay, so they claim that within 1/10 of this thing, what I can say, time, you will actually face an issue with Power BI data centers. So they have these kind of promise. I don't know whether they are true or not. And adding to that, they have something called as BI. Okay, this is not with Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium. This is only available with capacity itself. What they mean is they will give one key. If you are going to insert that key, then only your Power BI will open and you will be able to use that Power BI. And auto scaling feature, this is normally used for machine learning and all this thing, auto scalability and all add-ons availability. So this is actually available with only capacity version. Okay, not with everyone. Okay, and the maximum storage is for 10 GB for Pro, 100 TB for this thing, and 100 TB for capacity. So this is a small description about the various licenses which are actually involved in Power BI. Okay, hope you are clear on this particular part. If you have any questions or concern, feel free to ask me on any licensing part or something like that. If you can ask in this session, or else if you want, you can ask in our next session as well. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Any questions? We are trying to install with the help of our IT team. Okay. How many of you have installed Power BI on your system? Say yes on the chat. How many of you have installed Power BI on your system? No questions. Rathod is having no questions. Vijay has a Power BI on the system. Vijay, can you confirm the version? Can you confirm the version? And people, I just also want to inform you that this is I don't have. Okay, this is again for people who are using Power BI. Every single month, Power BI will be coming up with one or the other updates, and you have to install it. Okay, if you don't install it, there might be some issue with the data refresh, or it might be some issue with the visuals itself. Okay, and data refresh can be laggy as well. 104 April, right? Okay, that is absolutely fine. Good Vijay, thank you very much. Okay, don't have. So I assume that your team is going to help you on Power BI this thing, what I can say, license, okay, installation. If you are having any questions or concern, you can get in touch with 360Digit. They will be able to help you to connect me, and we will be able to help you to get the licensing part and all these things. Any questions, you can come to our help. Okay, We are there to help you. Okay. So any questions, guys? Any questions? So things can be moderate. I mean, if you want to be, dynamic or something like that, I can go dynamic. If you want, hey, Sanmesh, you are quite fast. We can slow down or something like that. Even that can be also possible. Everything can be possible as per your customizability. Okay. I'm just going to inform you. Beautiful. Rathodi is also having wonderful. So if you are using April 2022, that's wonderful. Okay. So I think it got released in the month of April 28th or 14th. Okay, either of these two dates. Okay, that's wonderful, guys. Okay, it was a nice session. If you have any questions or concern, feel free to ask me right now. If you don't have any questions, okay, you can get in touch with me tomorrow if you have any questions. Before we start ahead our discussion, we will have one Q&A session which will be open, wherein you can ask any questions related to our previous topics or something like that. We are there to address that. Okay, all good.
Yes, Sanmesh.
Yes.
So, Sanmesh, Sanjay here. So we
Yes,
are just trying to download this free version in our all the desktops and laptops. And I think next 3-4 session, this we can work on this free version, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
And after that, we'll have to go for maybe pro or premium, right?
I will give you 2 sessions prior itself. Before 2 sessions prior itself, I will inform you that we need to get license. Then what type of licensing you want? You want to go for a trial version individual, or if you want, what I can say, if you want to go ahead with something else, okay, even that can be also possible, like organizational license, even that can be possible as well. I'm there to help you out.
No, actually what happened, this free version is also the validity of only 1 month. So our classes will be on 2 days. This free version is for 1 month only, right? Valid for 1 month only.
Oh, is it so? Can you share your screen, sir? I'm just.
No, I'll have to download.
Sharing my...
No, it is going on. Fine, downloading is going on.
Okay. Okay. As per my knowledge, free version is completely free, and I have been using since a couple of years, I can say. Okay. So I started using Power BI since 2019, 18-19. Since then, I'm able to use it without any hassle. I don't know why you are facing that particular issue.
I do not have a complete knowledge about that. I was thought,
Sanjay,
okay, maybe
what you can do.
Yeah, I was thought actually about that. That the validity for 1 month only, the free version.
Okay. So I'm using for a very long time. If you have such issues, feel free to get in touch with me. I'm there to help you out in that case. Okay. Okay. That's wonderful. Okay, guys, it's 7:15. We took something like 15 minutes extra. I have a small question here. Do you want something like 5 minutes break or 10 minutes break in between, or you want it to be in an entire stretch? It's completely up to you. If you want a break in between, we can take a break between something like 3:30 around for something like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes as per your availability.
One break we can take. One break we can do.
One break we can take. Okay, sure, sir. 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we can do that. Okay. So for every one, yes, sure. 10 minutes. Okay. So you can decide it. You can decide it. We will catch up tomorrow. Okay. And 3:30 will be that time when I will provide you a break. Okay. If you want it for 5 minutes, if you want it for 10 minutes, even if you want it for 15 minutes, we can decide at that point, for that point in time. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay, guys, it was really a nice session with you. I expect the team to be really interactive because see, Power BI, as I've told you, there is only right click, left click, double click. That's it. But as a beginner, most of the Power BI developers get confused what to do, how to do. So for that particular thing, I request to be really interactive. We will do. Okay, I will do it. I will give you some time so that you can do it on your system. Okay, so this is how we have our learning process. This is how we learn Power BI. So that's the reason interactivity is very much important. Okay. Thanks for your wonderful introduction. Looking for session tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you for your comment. I'll be waiting for you. Thank you very much, Vijay. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.